What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is episode 82 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner,
Hello.
Creamcast,
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Dark Side,
Yo.
and myself,
Yo, yo.
Underground Bay.
Baby.
One and only.
Baby.
Yes. How are you fools doing this
Good.
afternoon?
Now, before we move forward with the show,
Uh,
this being the Easter season,
mm,
someone very important to all of us, had to suffer for our sins. And,
Versus
he was
God.
basically crucified so that we all may have salvation. I'm talking, of course, of former President Donald Trump,
who
was unjustly arrested.
that was
Wow.
wrong.
And
Hard times. I thought you were going to say the Easter Bunny. I was like,
yeah,
the Easter
something
Bunny
along that line.
sacrifice all of its eggs to for kids to chase them around and then to eat them.
Exactly.
Nobody's more forgiving and more gracious as the Easter Bunny is, because as we know, all those eggs, millions and millions of eggs are murdered every Easter because of the fact that kids like to chase around colorful eggs for Easter for whatever reason, whatever pagan holiday it represents. But that's what I thought you were going to. But talking about Easter and crazy events happening in the past week or so, we've seen recently how the mighty have fallen.
Yes.
Those who we thought were infallible could do no
Trump.
wrong. The harbingers of peace and goodwill upon the earth. We have a new watch, ladies
42.
and gentlemen. We have a new watch. It's with heavy heart. We now have what we dub the Llama Watch. It's right there with the Miller watch, Miller time, with the Majors watch. And there's a lot of watches right now, guys, and it's not getting any better.
I still don't have a watch, but
To defend Majors, at least Major wasn't going against prepubescent people.
Well, good.
He was,
not even that. Majors come to find out was exonerated of his acts of that he was accused of. Now at this point we can say falsely accused.
Falsely accused.
But at the same time, nothing is quite as devious as the two times the two watches we have to look out for, which is the Miller watch and now the Llama watch.
Miller watch never really goes away. You just think it's gone
Just
away.
lingers.
Correction. Miller time and Llama watch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miller time and Llama
Well,
watch.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Miller time has been renamed, rebranded because we're all let our guard down, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But we have llamas to watch out for now. So.
Yeah, llamas. Hide your kids, and
hide your wives.
Yeah, you really don't need to hide your wives. That's not what's going on. You just need to hide your kids.
And this should hit close to Syed's heart because it was specifically an Indian boy
Really?
who the llama requested
Dark Side
tongue sucking from.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama asked to
Look at his face. He didn't know about this.
He didn't know. For some reason,
This
he's been
new to
in
me.
the cave.
News said.
Yeah, he's been in a cave. He was like, I was supposed to meet the Dalai Lama tonight.
Well, that
private
bit of
chambers.
information was breaking news to me because I had read the description, but I chose for some reason not to.
Your
watch
mind
the
blocked
footage.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't watch the footage. I would.
I decided
not
not to
try to watch it.
There's video of this?
Yeah, man.
There's video of him
You did it live.
asking. Yeah, he's like, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, I'm doing it live.
Fuck it, I'm doing it live.
Hey, kid.
Was this on Twitch?
So the Dalai Lama was talking to a child, and cameras were on the Dalai Lama at this time, and he had asked this young, I think the boy was like 12 years old, preteen, hey, why don't you suck my tongue? And it was more of he laughed about it. But
I think it
obviously,
was to be fair to the Dalai Lama.
No.
There was some kind of like back and forth where there's more to that, but like
yes,
Dalai Lama went a little far on that
a little
joke
too far.
or
Now,
whatever
people-
he's trying to do here.
Now, Dalai Lama apologists are saying, "Hey, well, he's maybe going senile. He is 87,
Sure,
I
sure, sure.
believe, years
Who
old.
gives a shit?
He's probably, having some mental issues going on, but at any point in time, that's still very creepy.
Yeah, that's fucked up. You don't do that. I don't care if you have, senility or whatever.
Yeah, well, and the crazy thing is, we were just talking about how some of our heroes always seem to let us down. Like, no one's infallible. I was like, and I brought it up. I was like, hey, thinking about people, I was like, Mother Teresa. She was infallible.
I clicked on the image.
But the problem is that it's pretty well known that Mother Teresa was not the nicest of people. To put
No,
it
she
lightly.
wasn't.
She did a lot of good missionary work, reaching out to poor communities, blah blah blah. But at the same time, yeah, people say that she was a hard ass to be around at times. And Green Chain, you said something about the fact that she didn't like giving people pain medicine or something like that because she believed suffering
that
brought you closer to God.
suffering was the way to Christ, to God.
Yeah, so absolutely crazy. But yeah, so it's just one of those things. Do not put people on the pedestal. Your heroes can let you down, and
unless it's Trump.
What? I mean, a lot of people did say they let go or they backed away from the Donald after he tried to sell them NFTs. So
those were the greatest. They were so bad.
They were so horrible. But I'm sure you got the mint condition NFTs.
Oh, I sure did.
He has a 1-of-1 rare.
Yeah, 1-of-1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm the only one that bought an NFT.
You're literally you minted your NFT as you were walking to the border, as you were being escorted out. So it's crazy how that works. He has a 1-of-1. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's crazy. I would have never thought in a million thousand years that the Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama was nearing the end of legacy status. All he had to do is put it to bed here, man. What the fuck? You could talk about legacy blunders. Yikes.
Yeah, literally all the Dalai Lama had to do was just live quietly.
Just die.
Yeah.
All he had to do was die. He had to die on Monday and he would have been set.
His legacy would have been just etched in stone.
Absolutely crazy that this is a...
Well, I mean, I guess unless truly he has complete dementia and didn't know what he was saying, maybe.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't know. Green Tuner,
I don't know.
Green Tuner, it seems like you're kind of being an apologist right now. But
all I'm saying is, what was that boy wearing?
He obviously must have been. I mean, he was talking to the Dalai Lama. One thing led to another. It's absolutely crazy. It's just crazy.
Stuff happens like that.
Like when my wife, it's funny. Like when my wife first told me about it, I didn't know about it until a few days ago, and my wife told me about it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, was it?
I couldn't believe my eyes when I read that. I'm like, God.
When my wife told me about it, I was like, there's no way possible. I'm like, it must have been taken out of context. Maybe he said something or
Photoshop. Well, I saw
he said something.
The
it was
image that was set in the chat. I saw the image of it. But you said it was video.
I thought you kissed the kid on the cheek or something. I was like, okay.
No, it's on the mouth.
That's like.
Oh, so wait, he did kiss him?
Yeah. Well, there's a tongue involved.
No, I don't think he actually sucked his tongue.
No. I think
he just asked.
Again, I haven't watched the video because it's disgusting. I don't want to watch that.
I haven't.
I just read the transcript or the description. Supposedly he kissed him on the lips and then he asked him to suck his tongue.
Yeah,
it's what I read.
Yeah, he joked with him.
Jokingly.
Or he said. Well, they said it jokingly said, "You can suck my tongue." But yeah, he did kiss him. But from what I understood, it was just it was just that. That was just the kiss. And like the kiss was not. I don't think anybody had a problem with the kiss, as more.
It was just the comment afterwards.
The comment afterwards. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to pan out for his legacy, but I think at this point it's pretty ruined. At least in the foreseeable future. The one thing
in the
about
near
people,
future,
the thing is that people have a short-term memory. I mean, let's look at like R. Kelly, right? Everybody knew about R. Kelly years ago, but he was still putting out albums, and people were still listening to him. Like people just tend to just put it in the back of their mind. Same thing is going to happen with the Dalai Lama. People are going to forget once he's dead. People are going to be like, let's think about all the good that he did, not the tongue sucking he did at his later years.
So I only liked one song from R. Kelly, and that was I believe I Can Fly song. But everything else, like I'm bad at. It's whatever. And I don't like what he did with Aaliyah.
You don't like Ignition? Is it the name of the song?
It's one of the songs.
Yeah. Ignition remix.
But how many of the Dalai Lama's hits do you like?
Rolling that body.
None of them.
You know what I'm saying?
None of them.
Not down with anyone?
He's been putting out hits for 87 years. I mean, geez. I mean, the man got records. But
Ed, by the way, do you mind if I get a little fucked up on this stream here?
CBD.
CBD.
I got some.
We might get banned on this chat.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Even though what you're looking for is THC.
No.
But I guess
CBD. No. I'm gonna get fucked up.
He's gonna get so high off that CBD.
I mean, hop it on CBD, Ed.
Well, I got something too, but it's in the fridge.
Okay, so for a backstory,
orange juice.
So backstory, the Ed Underground, back in our hometown that we all live in, used to live in, there was a CBD store that was on this one like strip like corner store or whatever. And one day the Ed Underground, we drove by there, and it's like, holy shit, there's silly CBD. Well, he didn't say shit, it doesn't curse.
Yeah.
But he's like,
holy smokes,
holy shnikes, like they're selling CBD openly. It's like, it's not. Well, I'm like, Ed, what do you think that is? He's like, it's CBD, man. Did you see the plant that they have? And like, CBD is not the same as THC, but it's been a running joke that anytime you see CBD, it's time to 420. Yeah, 420 blazing off that CBD, son.
I didn't know if this killed, but I could have lost my memory.
You did lose your memory again. Obviously, by driving by the CBD store, you get secondhand highs. So.
Yeah, you got a contact time.
Yeah, contact.
And you might get a contact time now.
Yeah.
Sure, it happens.
Yeah, be careful, Ed.
Black Girl's Hack. It's lemon iced tea. It's not orange juice.
Yeah, I mean,
it's lean.
It's working.
It's very lean. Yeah, that's right. It's lean.
It's lean.
It's
just drinking lean right now.
Just straight lean. No mixer. No Sprite. Nothing. All right, so going on to other news. Pretty big week overall. I mean, we were missing last week. That was primarily the fault of Green Tuner. He had an emergency vasectomy he had to do. So he had to do that, and hopefully he's healed up at this point. So, unfortunately we missed last week. So a lot of news to catch up on. Black Girls Hacks says, I'm talking about what Green Tuner said was in Underground's fridge.
Oh, so, yeah. It's either a gallon. It's either a gallon of water.
It's orange juice. It has to be orange juice. That's all this man drinks.
Yeah, he only drinks orange juice. Yes.
He
literally pissed sugar cubes.
I just put this up.
Don't tell me you buy Liquid Death.
Isn't Liquid Death just regular canned water?
It's just.
You probably can't read this, but
you can't read it. You can't read it there.
It's Armless Palmer, so it's iced tea.
It's what is it? What is it?
Iced tea with.
What is it called?
Liquid Death.
Right. But what did you say? What was it?
It won't focus in on it, but.
Oh no, it's fine.
What's the flavor?
What is it? What's the flavor?
This is Armless Palmer, so it's iced tea
it's
with
called
vitamins.
Armless Palmer. Well, maybe it is Armless.
Yeah, they have like gimmicky, death sounding flavors.
Well, Liquid Death, I've made fun of several people who bought Liquid Death, and now I've met one who buys Liquid Death. That's pretty cool.
Well, this is the flavored Liquid Death, which is actually not bad.
Yeah. Do you drink regular Liquid Death?
I have.
Of course.
Do you purchase regular Liquid Death?
No. This is the ones that I purchased, the iced tea, which is actually not bad. I mean, it's not like flavorful, super flavorful. It's just iced tea.
Isn't Liquid Death normally just Water.
It's just
Water.
That's what it
Water
is.
in
It's
a
just
can.
water in
Water
a
in a
can.
can.
the
Okay.
original.
And one of the
Liquid
reasons
Death
why it
stuff.
became so successful is it was like the
The
X
advertisement.
X
SEO or
Games.
CEO or
Oh.
something of Netflix that started Liquid Death.
Uh,
So
Reed
you're talking about a
Hastings?
guy that knows marketing.
marketing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
marketing is pretty good.
That's absolutely crazy. Like, I've never drank Liquid Death. I always assumed it was just water in a can. I was like, I'll just buy like a Evian or whatever else to drink. It just seemed really crazy. But I recently heard there's a brand of water out there that is, I think it's called Free Water, and all it is like outside of the can is nothing but advertisements, which the advertisements that the advertisers pay for the water, the spring water, therefore makes the can and the water free. And somebody asked about it. They're like, how is this even profitable? They're like, trust us, it's profitable. These advertisers want their advertisements on the can, therefore making it profitable and therefore making it free. I was like, that's kind of ingenious.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, giving out free water, paying advertisers to put their
That is a great idea because I would always go for the free water.
Exactly.
Is there a
always-
catch
would
to
I.
this though? Is there
Yeah.
a catch to this?
there's no catch. The water is free.
Hmm.
It's literally free
The ads
water.
are the catch.
Yeah, the ads.
I
are
would
the
buy
catch.
it. I mean, I like free water. That's good, drinkable water. I'm
Yeah,
They're not
spring-
going to give you
spring water.
toilet water. It's spring water. He just said,
I'm just.
Well, toilet water is potable still water. Like if you drink from, if you put your water. So this is coming from. I'm putting you guys on game just in case you guys didn't know this. The water that you put into like you make your ramen noodles with or your hot dogs with and this and the other is the same water that goes into your toilet. That
Negative.
water, once you flush it gets
I would
cleaned
have to
out.
agree negative.
yeah.
I actually use water that I buy.
I was joking. He's actually.
I'm
right.
not. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I don't. Well, for one, I don't eat it.
You don't use tap water. You wash your dishes in tap water, right?
Yeah.
My dishes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So-
same
No,
thing.
Ed, you
It's
take
the same
shower.
thing.
You're bathing in toilet water.
You're
Yeah,
bathing
it's
in
so-
toilet
but-
water.
no.
But
It's fine.
the
When I
toilet-
mean
the
when
water
I
doesn't-
when I mean
No,
toilet
no,
water,
no.
from the toilet.
it's
The water goes
literally
into the toilet.
going
no.
into your toilet bowl and scooping out water. That's what I mean with toilet water.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
But yes.
but- yeah.
The water lines are the same water lines. all
But I've had this
But you're
conversation
not
with
getting
people.
it from the toilet. The water is going into the toilet. Why are we talking about toilets?
Well, no, because I thought it was interesting that people really do think like there's like people don't
A
think about
special
it.
line of water.
There's a special line of water. Like there's
Yeah.
toilet water that just keeps getting
no,
reused,
no,
and there's
no.
regular water. Like you at one point are drinking clean piss for someone else. Like
Yeah.
you drink from the water. Like your dishes, your clothes, your shower is all from the same water that someone shitted in and was cleaned
Yeah,
out.
but I'm not going to drink it.
Do you brush your teeth?
You don't
Ed?
drink tap water ever?
Do you brush your teeth? Ed?
I have
Yeah,
drinking tap
You
water.
gargle?
Of course,
You
everyone
gargle,
has chocolate.
bitch.
What? No, I do not.
But
Actually.
you-
I bet
so you brush your
gargle,
teeth,
don't
right?
you? You dirty girl.
Yes, I do brush my teeth.
Do you use spring water or do you use regular faucet water?
I use regular water, then I actually spit it out. I
That's
don't
not how it
drink
works. It's like
But
well,
I don't
if you
drink
shit
it.
in my mouth, if you piss in my mouth, as
I
long as
don't
I
drink
spit
it.
it out, I
Spit
don't
it
have
out.
piss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My opinion, if you drink your toothbrush water, that's kind of gross to me. I mean,
No one's gonna drink
Well,
it. But
purposely. I'm just saying that's kind of.
Fun,
I'm not
to me,
saying
it's kind of gross.
fun facts. The
Yeah.
Romans used to use their own urine as mouthwash.
Well,
Yeah.
good things.
That is
Good
fun.
thing we're
Yeah.
not in the Roman times.
yeah, be like, hey, bro,
I'm
you got
saying,
piss?
if you
I'm
ever run out of mouthwash, just give me a call.
like,
you know?
right? Just, hey, you know what? Just do us a favor. The hose
I'll
will
make
come
sure.
to you.
I arrived to Ed's house drinking that jug of water. Clock, clock, clock. I'm like, all right, Ed, let's do
No.
this.
I'm
Hey, I mean, hey, Ed, if you ever need, if you want to save money on
I'm
mouthwash, I will 100% give you free mouthwash for life.
I'm good. All I'm saying
I'll make
is
sure
the
you switch.
same water that's used for the toilet. The water goes into the toilet. We're not taking water from the toilet.
No. I know. He just
Yeah.
said that some people think there's a separate line just for the toilet, which is
No,
insane.
there isn't. No.
Yeah,
No.
like there's a gray water line versus a actual like all the water that comes through your main into your house is somehow separated out. So
No.
and
No.
Wait,
water's
one
just
thing that I
reused.
heard, which I'm not sure if it's true or not, the U.S. doesn't recycle its water, right?
I don't think so.
Like we don't like clean the water and reuse it. We just
No,
clean the water and dump
No.
it back out.
No, we
Unless we're in
reuse it.
space.
Wait,
We're
there's
using-
water
Treatment.
treatment facilities.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
because what I
reuse the
had
water.
heard, and I'm not sure what I had heard is that they treat the water, but then they release it back into whatever body of water it is. But
maybe
don't,
that's correct.
We don't reuse it because there's a stigma. Even though the water has been clean, there's a stigma of reusing that water, even though it's clean.
Pump it back out to the ocean, right, or to the a body of water, right?
That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true. Or not,
you can reuse that water, so it doesn't go straight.
It's
from
clean. It's extremely clean. Yeah.
So some water does go back out into like the tributaries and this, that, and the other. But sometimes, you don't have that option. So then you have to get fresh water from somewhere, right? So you go through the treatment plants and so forth, and then that water is clean, and you can reuse it again. So
I bet you that's guaranteed in Las Vegas or somewhere where that's water's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, most water you do reuse the water. They clean the water, and then when that water is clean, it goes back and you reuse that water. That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, the water that you poop in is eventually the water that you gets cleaned and gets put back into the system. Yeah. And that water honestly is cleaner more time. It's cleaner than spring water and so forth. This water.
Just thinking about how the rivers and everything moves, there's animals that shit in the water, there's alligators that shit in the water,
dead animals,
there's everything
in the water.
Humans exactly, there's
what
wait a minute, what?
Spotting. There's spotting out there.
Wow,
look it up.
Wow, Dark Side, you just took it to a whole new I'm cool with animals shitting in the water. I'm cool with dead animals in the water, but then you're like, hey,
you just turn on your shower and you get a bukkake.
That's not how. God, you guys are the worst. I'm not gonna lie, you guys are the worst. Let's move on from this.
Now you know. The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know.
Everyone came out of this more educated about several things.
Yeah,
and scared.
Yeah,
and scared.
So really cool thing that came out recently, something that we had talked about, was Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle trailer came out. We were all concerned of how it was going to be received, how it was going to look like. And I'm not gonna lie, my first reaction to it, actually very impressed. I really thought that this trailer was going to be absolute dog shit. And I'm going to look at it and be like, damn, I'm sorry, Green Tuner. You just missed out on your opportunity for a representation.
Hispanic.
Representation.
We still have Ghost Rider, damn it.
Yeah,
that's... Huh?
Do we? Mm-hmm. Do we?
No, you can't include yourself in this.
I can't have myself again.
Yeah, you're really not part of this conversation. But no, so Blue Beetle came out. I liked it. It seemed pretty cool. What are you guys' first reaction?
I actually liked it as well.
Okay.
But I said that. That's right. That's what I actually liked it as well. I think this would be better than Shazam. I do like Blue Beetle as a character, and to see it on the screen, and the costume, it gave me what is that? There's a movie, Guyver. Yeah. It kind of gave me Guyver vibes, a little bit
because of the eyes.
Not just the costume itself, and just the abilities he's able to do.
I got more like Mark 5, Mark whatever. More Iron Man vibes off the costume, yeah.
Oh, I kind of got Guyver vibes, but I'm interested to see it. A better costume than the one that was made for Blue Beetle on some WB show.
Any WB show,
yes.
I think we already discussed this. Seeing how they portray them is they don't have the budget. The trailer looks really cool. I am kind of tired of seeing George Lopez and everything, though. I'll be honest.
I kind of am.
I wish they would have reached out to someone else.
Not seen George Lopez in so long.
Yeah,
he's in it.
Really?
I thought this was his comeback.
Where else has he been?
He's been on Netflix. He's been on. What else? He's been in.
Let's talk about big TV
shows too.
Let's talk about big screen.
Big screen. I don't know. It's just. It also rubs me the wrong way because I found out that George Lopez does gatekeep a lot of Hispanic actors and comedians.
I've heard
like
that.
It came out that he basically strong arms places to ban certain comedians and things like that. So I'm like, fuck him. But I mean, I guess he's the most recognizable Hispanic if you're gonna have like an old Hispanic guy. Like the only other guy that they could have gotten would have been like maybe Danny Trejo. Or Cheech. We haven't seen Cheech in forever. Where I was seeing like Danny Trejo would be about that same kind of look that they were going for.
Yeah.
But you gotta save him for a villain. Like he just has that villain face.
Poor Danny, he's always the villain.
He did. I mean, Danny Trejo did. I mean, wasn't it Spy Kids or something like that?
Yeah, Spy Kids.
Yeah,
Spy
he was
Kids.
like the good. He was the good. Like
was he Machete? Machete and Spy Kids?
He was also Machete. No, he wasn't Machete and Spy Kids.
Okay, I thought it was like some softer version of Machete.
No, he was. I think he was like the weapons expert or something like that, or he gave them like their super suits or whatever. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, yeah, no, Danny Trejo would have been good. Yeah, I mean, George Lopez. I just hope they didn't bring him on for a comedic effect. Like, I don't want. I don't want.
Yeah,
I'm tired of these superhero movies where they try to do comedy. Like, not everything needs to be comedy. It doesn't need to be the father who's like in Shazam, always got the witty one-liners. Like, no, we don't need that. And I felt like George Lopez. I'm like, it didn't seem like he was acting in that role per se. So
he's going to.
He's going to, but I hope that he doesn't. So we'll see how that turns out. But
I think the hope for that is very, very dim. I mean, he's on there for a reason.
It seems like he's just gonna be sort of like a background character that kind of pitches in here and there. At least from the trailers, it seemed that way.
Yeah,
it seemed like they're gonna focus heavily on the story of Blue Beetle itself. So,
and the cool thing is this is so this has been confirmed. This is the first movie of the DCU.
Oh really? I thought it was
the new DCU.
I thought this was like the last movie.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
I thought it was the last movie.
No, I thought this was gonna be. I thought from what I read.
No, the first movie of the DCU, isn't it the Superman movie?
That's what I thought too.
In his thing,
I think he said that Blue Beetle was now officially part of the DCU.
Oh,
they must have changed something.
Maybe they made enough changes.
I'll put this out. I guess I'll be the one contrarian. I did not like the trailer.
Yeah, it says
sorry.
It's a rumor right now, but it says
rumor.
Blue Beetle will remain a part of the James Gunn future DCU. Which makes sense as long as they don't have if this is going to be the Otherworld or whatever that crap is called, Elseworlds. If it's going to be part of Elseworlds, then that's fine. But ultimately, if this becomes part of it, that's cool. I mean, as long as they don't have any stupid Wonder Woman cameos like in Shazam too, where Gal Gadot is just doing these one shots, then sure. I mean, but ultimately, yeah, I thought this was, like I said, I thought this was a cool trailer. A little bit excited for it. Now I'm not like, going crazy for this, but I'm hoping that this is going to be a worthwhile feature for the DCU. Or whatever DCEU. I mean, I think we talked about before. DC has done does a better job with obscure characters than they do with their mainline characters. So this would be kind of cool if this happens and is actually done very well. The future of DCEU or DCU and how James Gunn is going to approach that. So,
but Darkseid, you said you weren't a big fan of the trailer.
No, it didn't appeal to me. I mean, it appealed to me. The character appealed to me. The movie just didn't look good.
Well, to be fair, it did have shitty CGI, so you love that.
Shitty CGI and like the costume on like a close up looked a little like styrofoamy, like it looked a little cosplay ish. So I don't know. I think there's a lower budget here at work, but yeah. But I think the plot seems like. I've seen this movie before with like experimental tech. Some kid gets experimental tech and the
blank check,
Star Kid. All these like 90s movies are coming back to me watching this trailer. Yeah, so
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
No, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. But yeah,
so,
my first impression was
we have nothing to lose with this movie. Really don't.
Were there any like tidbits there? Because I'm not too familiar with Blue Beetle, I'll be honest. Like, were there any like characters that we should notice or anything, or it was pretty much straightforward?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't notice there's a villain, but only seen a trailer once.
Well, the villain is what's her name? Sarandon, right?
I guess
that's what it seems like.
It sure seems like that there's like a corporate villain, and it's just
but at the very end, there's gonna be this world-ending monster or alien force is going to come up,
save the day,
of course.
So
and then they're gonna be like, all right, we don't want you to keep it, but you're gonna have to keep the suit.
Yeah,
Just need
It's
one,
gonna be
we'll
one
call you
teenager with
Starro
attitude.
comes back.
Yeah.
Well, no,
One teenager with attitude.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have like Amanda Waller come in and be like, you know,
Probably.
Yeah.
hey,
God,
like,
yeah.
you know, I have somebody.
You're gonna come in on her lowrider, basically.
Wow. Well, I was gonna just say for the most part that she was gonna come in and with a little drone and say, hey, you know, we have somebody off world that could beat you up or something like that. And then here comes Superman.
So far it's been diminishing returns. It started with Amanda Waller, then it went hardcore and the other guy. So now who would be below them? That's who's gonna appear at the end and try to recruit
same people as
Blue
Shazam. This is gonna be the same.
Yeah,
No,
it's
you gotta
gonna
go out. You gotta go out level lower because it's been diminishing as the last few movies comes out. Like who would be below those two?
I don't know.
That's who's gonna recruit. The WB
executive,
the Frog, Michigan J Frog.
Yeah. Hello, my baby.
Hello, my honey. Hello.
I was gonna say maybe the Weasel from Suicide Squad or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. That's who's gonna recruit Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do a scene with Blue Beetle
very cool
shooting out blasters out of his hands or something in the forest for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was one of the things I was watching it, and like, they're the Iron Man references. I'm like, you basically made a young Iron Man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and
yeah.
I just wish they did something different with like the voice in his head and the whole like, I don't know. Obviously, it's a teaser, so that's why I kind of like was like, could have done something different. But we'll see. We'll see. First impression, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's true.
Yeah, talking about trailers. Recently. Another trailer came out, I think today, which was the Marvels.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Disney, Marvel put out the Marvels trailer, full blown trailer, and actually, once again, I'm like, hey, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the greatest thing. You know,
Polar.
I like your bar. How low
surprised.
your bar is. It wasn't too bad.
No, my bar is pretty low right now.
I will say this, like, comparing it to like the Blue Beetle, obviously there's a budgetary difference you can see right away in the Marvels. It's a higher quality film. It looks better than the first Captain Marvel movie.
It does.
The direction looks more professional. That's Captain Marvel movie, notoriously our worst Marvel movie ever, and it's just not, it had a lot of problems with it, but the direction was like in your face bad. This actually looks like a movie, and I'm actually excited. It looks fun, it looks good, but all these Marvel movies have the teaser that is an illusion. It's always a good teaser, and then when we get to it, what happens.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'm trying not to be disappointed like how I was for Multiverse of Madness. We came in there. Well, I mean, plus we talked about this. Oh my
god,
we set the expectation
all time high.
Yeah,
all time high.
It's their fault though.
It is.
It's their fault.
It's their fault.
It's their fault though.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wolverine and
how dare
going all out.
How dare you put 90s Xavier in the yellow wheelchair, and then you have you have the title Multiverse of Madness. What is that?
I'm pretty sure in one of the trailers I saw Spawn. Like, I'm sure they were going pretty hard.
Someone actually did say that. Someone actually did say that in a YouTube theory thing or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we saw
was
Spawn.
next to the Max.
Yeah.
We're both on top of a building.
You're like, whoa, it's gonna be amazing.
I mean, the thing is, like, Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, we were the ultimate fan fiction theory crafting son of a bitches out there. Like, no one could beat us.
Hey guys, could we say though, it was a good time getting there. It was a good time getting there.
It was a good time when we were theory crafting.
The road was fun. Yeah, the destination sucked.
The destination was horrible. It was like, we gonna promise like we're gonna have a vacation with the Swiss Alps. We're gonna have ski slopes. We're like going there, having a great time with the travel.
Hot tubs,
first class travel.
Gal Gadot.
No, she's married. She wouldn't be in the hot tub.
I mean, you can be married and be in the hot tub.
Sure. We thought it was a great time, and then we get there. It's actually a Motel 8. Not even like a Super 8, just a regular Motel 8. There's one bed.
No, it's one of those
guys.
shady hotels
I'm trying to think what would be with below that
in town or whatever.
Comfort Inn.
Oh, Days Inn.
Days Inn.
Days Inn would be
Days
the lowest.
Inn.
Not even that. It's even worse. So let's go like what Ed was saying. Let's go even worse. It's one of the Love hotels. It's not even a brand name.
I wasn't even saying Love Hotel. I'm
Like-
just saying like those shady hotels that they're down
Oh,
the
I know.
street or whatever.
They're everywhere.
I want Love
No,
Hotel.
it's a hotel that has an hourly rate. Is all you.
Yeah,
need
exactly.
To say.
Wow.
Exactly. The beds. The beds. I mean,
Have bed bugs on them.
well, not even that. You put a quarter in, they shake.
The bed bugs have bed bugs.
Yeah, the bed bugs have bed bugs. You see the bed bugs moving out, talking about, yeah, this place ain't good no more.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So, I'm hoping that the Marvels, yes, Dark Side, you're 100% correct. The production quality is much greater with the Marvels. You can see it instantly. Does seem interesting with Miss Marvel, with Captain Marvel, and then I forgot what's Monica Rambeau's.
Oh, is it Spectrum? No, is it? Damn it!
I forgot her name, but
me too.
But you got the three Marvels. It's cool.
Spectrum?
I forgot what it is.
I'd have to look.
But no, it seems cool. I'm kind of interested in where the story is gonna go. Brie Larson, typical Brie Larson, one-dimensional acting. But other than that, I felt like this has potential. But
now here's the strategy here.
There wasn't enough to know what potential there are. It was just like small scene. I don't know.
I mean,
it doesn't look promising.
The potential.
It does not look.
It's fun.
No, yeah, I would say based on the sliver of stuff they gave us, it looks like it could be fun.
I have zero expectation. I had zero interest in watching this.
I'll watch it.
I will say this.
My expectations are not.
If I had to choose between this and Blue Beetle right now,
Blue Beetle for me.
Blue Beetle.
I would flip a coin and let the coin decide.
Yeah, honestly, it's one.
I'm
one
really
to
not
one.
invested in either one.
Don't worry, Ed. You and I, Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
Indeed.
you guys can Blue Beetle it up. Me and Dark Side will take our chances. So we may be joining you, we may not. And if we end up at the Bear movie, hey, that's what fate decided.
I mean, I'm going to see it. I'm not going to like it. I'm going to see it. Here's the thing. I don't want to see it.
The cat was pretty cool.
I want to see the movie. It's not like I don't want to. I want to see the movie. I just don't have great hopes for it.
I hope it's good. I hope it is. To me, it seems like this is something on Disney Plus.
The quality is better than Disney.
Looks better than Disney.
Yeah, you can tell there's money in it. Yeah.
It definitely looks like a film.
I think we're past the era now where, like, these movies are gonna come out. Like, they're gonna put out a budget movie for Disney Plus. So I feel like we those days are long gone unless we get another COVID pandemic or some other pandemic. We're not gonna see that era anymore. It was a blip in history.
That was a great era.
Yeah, but it won't happen again. So with a movie of this caliber, they're absolutely going to put this in theaters. There's no way that will ever go on Disney Plus. But the thing about it is this, and this is something I had talked about with a friend recently. Miss Marvel was people actually liked Miss Marvel. They said it actually was very well received overall. So
wow.
I'm actually I'm not surprised that they're kind of cashing in. Well, it's not cashing in, that they're investing in this in general, because like I said, if Miss Marvel, since it did so well, people do, even though we say we don't like Captain Marvel, people did like the movie enough. So I think this movie will do well in theaters.
I think they have to invest in it.
Remember our first impressions of Brie Larson and her performance is that she lacks charisma, right? She lacks that charisma and appeal. So it seems like they're bringing on two other characters to balance that out. Like there's a youthful, like funny, and then there's another sassy, cool. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, those two I like.
Well, the balance might work in her. This might be something that this character needs to balance it out. So I don't know, but if that's what they looked at and they were like, okay, this is what we need to do to balance her character, then hey, maybe it'll work. You never know.
I would actually have to agree with that, but I don't know. It's like you have two great actors, and just the one that is supposed to be the main one. It's like,
Who are the two great actors? Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay, three great actors.
Who are the other two?
Yeah, I'm curious.
the
Do you
other
know the name of
Marvels.
those actors?
The other
Monica
Marvels.
Rambeau and
Those are characters.
well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, who
No,
are
you
the
said
actors?
who's a great actor.
Oh,
you
the
said.
actors? I forgot their
So
names.
so great you don't know the names.
Well, I'm not like
Mhm.
following them in IMDb. I didn't even know about these two actors
Right,
before
so
the series on Disney Plus.
Ed.
And my son just went silent.
Wow.
Talk, my son. Talk.
I'm just saying, like, you're
Oh,
kind of
you can
blowing
hear him
smoke
now.
up your ass. I wasn't
Oh
saying
no,
that.
I didn't say I was a big fan of all of them. I think they were good in the series that they were in on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Before that, I don't know where they've been.
All right. Well, I will say again, Brie Larson is a far better actor in other things. She's just not good.
Yeah,
in
it's
She's not
just a
good in
role.
this.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
role.
a role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this role she's not good in. I have
Yeah,
liked her in
obviously.
other stuff.
Yeah, another movie she's amazing. It's just for some reason she's just
Not good.
not a good.
She's not good in this.
So
good
maybe
Captain Marvel.
maybe like we can only hope that that's what they examined and said, hey, we can make this character fun again by doing this.
You know, I think what the problem is with Captain Marvel is that we've seen like the evolution of like Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, and so forth. She really hasn't had a evolution. It's more than just all comprised in one movie. She was always the same person throughout the entire series. So it's not she didn't come to like a come to Jesus moment where
Yeah, that's true.
She had this realization like I can be greater. Is more or less like I've been the same person. I just been lied to. Okay, now I'm just gonna let my powers loose. She never had that character arc where she became more than her initial state. That makes sense.
There's no connection with the character. Like yeah, she's overpowered, but also Superman was overpowered. But you had a connection with Superman. He was portrayed by Henry Cavill.
Right. Like when he said great power great power comes great responsibility. I felt that as Superman. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's before he went up on the spaceship and got hit with space radiation, and that's how he became Superman.
That was before Frieza hit him in the face, and yeah.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we're fucking weeb. We're not talking about anime. Fucking nerd. What the hell's wrong?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so talking about Marvel Cinematic Universe, had a trailer for Secret Invasion. That's definitely a more serious trailer overall, which I actually loved. You know, I do kind of wish. I think Marvel kind of lost his way a little bit on the seriousness. Like you had Falcon and Winter Soldier, like that was a little too heavy, but then you had perfect ones like Winter Soldier, which was the perfect heaviness while still keeping the story moving and keeping a Marvel Cinematic Universe light. Secret Invasion seems like it is going back to the more serious, but keeping it kind of maybe potentially Marvel light. But this, you can see that Secret Invasion is probably going to have a lot of ramifications for the future of the MCU, which I think is pretty cool.
I don't think it has all the bells and whistles that people are going to be looking for, because it hasn't been making all the like the rounds and for the hype levels. You know what I mean?
No, there's no bells and whistles. No.
And you know what? I'm right there with Creamcast. I'm excited for it because it gives me Andor vibes from, you know, like what Andor did for Star Wars. I really hope that, you know, this or series does for Marvel. But yeah, there's no major costumed hero
that we know of.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, it's supposed to be Secret Invasion, so you never know.
We don't know.
I think the reason why I don't like this Miss whatever we call Marvel's movie is because it's not as serious as I was expecting, being that it is a new phase of Marvel. Was it phase 4 or 5 for every end?
Phase 5.
Phase 5. So this is supposed to be phase 5. So I'm expecting, okay, stakes are up now, things are supposed to be happening. We're out of the whole filler stuff. Here we go. That's
I think this is gonna be filler stuff. That's my worry.
Yeah, but
it's Secret Invasion in the comics is a major event, right?
Yeah.
And it's a major event, and it's one of those like, who can you trust? And the whole world's going to shit, and there's like a literal real-time invasion happening, and you cannot trust the Avengers, you cannot trust anyone. And this seems like the allude to a bigger movie, and I don't even know that would Phase 6 movie. It just seems odd. So it means like we know we're going to Kang Town in a couple films, right? That's the main event, Secret Wars. What are the consequences for this movie? Like, oh, maybe it's in Captain America, the Captain America movie coming up. Maybe that's gonna be fallout in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just seems like it's a big deal, but it's not gonna lead to anything. We kind of know that, so it kind of takes the wind out of the sails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like with like we talked about before, Winter Soldier was like there were stakes all involved. I mean, when you went from Winter Soldier to what was after Winter Soldier?
Civil War.
Civil War. There we go. Civil War. There were stakes, and then the backlash from Civil War is what led to the divide in like not Endgame, but Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then to Endgame. So there were stakes involved in every single point. This now it just kind of feels Marvel feels a little bit disjointed. And while I feel like we enjoy the individual tidbits, the individual shows, the greater story I feel like is still missing. And I think that's kind of the problem with Marvel. There's no overarching story where now, like, if we talk about everything that's happened, it seems like everybody's kind of just doing their own thing. Like, from Loki with the TVA to Kang, now we got Miss Marvel. Like, what the hell is that about? Then we got Secret Invasion. What the hell is that about? Like, we got Doctor Strange over here, throwing up gang signs. Peter Parker is off in the nether. Everybody forgot who the hell he is. Yeah, it's just a lot of things that are happening, and it's just like, where's the cohesive story where, like, if I don't see Spider-Man show up, if I don't see Miles Morales leave the Spider-Verse and come into actual live action movie because somehow the multiverse got fucked up, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, ultimately we're setting up for Kang and that's it. Like, that's all.
I'd rather it be set up for Kang and not be like another filler movie. I was done with filler movies in the process of waiting for Phase 5 to start.
Well, we'll see how Phase 5
I'm good with the filler movie if the filler movie is actually good. That's the thing.
Yeah, if it's good, then sure, absolutely.
I'm kind of, after Quantumanium, I'm disillusioned with their Kang trajectory. So I'm down for a good filler movie. That's what I'm saying. If Marvel's is good standalone, then that's what the doctor ordered. You know what I mean?
Well, look at Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel technically was a filler movie. Like, it had really nothing to do with the main MCU storyline. At the end, you saw what's his name talking about, we're gonna come back for the weapon, and that was it. It was really nothing more than setting up the Kree coming to Earth, or Kree being on Earth, and that was about it. But really, it didn't set up a whole lot. Like, now, I mean, that is kind of leading into the Secret Invasion and blah blah blah. But I mean, it really was nothing paramount to the main Marvel storyline at the time. So right. I feel like there might be a payoff. We'll see what happens. If there's a payoff, great. If there isn't, oh well. Just another couple of years of Phase 4 shenanigans again, happening in Phase 5. So, but moving off of Marvel, really quick, we saw that E3 got canceled. It's official.
No way!
Like, who's surprised?
Who would have thought?
I think there's only one person on this panel.
There's only one.
There's only one person on this panel who would actually be surprised, and I believe that's the Ed Underground. Ed Underground, how do you feel about that?
False.
I'm pretty sure you're
the one.
It's
false?
Do you feel that E3 is still relevant, though?
I believe, yes, if E3 was still happening and they had...
You still think it's relevant, huh?
It can be.
All right. Yeah, sticking to your guns. Yeah. All right.
Every
Good
E3,
on you, Ed.
I mean, if you have a new product, a new game being announced at a conference, it's relevant because it's new. It's not there.
Right. Well, what happens when nobody is announcing anything at your conference?
Yeah, what happens when everyone has their own conference?
Would it still be relevant is the question.
Yeah, because they have other games on there. Yeah. That's what they did last year, too.
We got to think about it. E3. I mean, E3 is not what it used to be. We have the worldwide internet at this point.
Not what it used to be.
So at this point, I mean, you could do your own conference from the comfort of your own office and do a whole showcase. Like, hey guys, come to our showcase. We're going to show off a demo of our game, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. Something that's probably been filmed weeks in advance, and then all you got to do is stream it on YouTube, stream it on Twitch, and then you save a lot of money. And then at the end of the day, all of the publishing, the magazines, the IGNs of the world, Game Informer, they're going to write articles about it anyway. So ultimately, the appeal that you would have is exactly the same, except that you just saved yourself a ton of money instead of having to go to E3.
Yeah, that's what Nintendo did. What they had to do because they didn't make a lot of money during the whole Wii U, what do you call it, process scenario, whatever.
Debacle.
Well, no, they have some good things in there. I mean, but some. But yeah, Nintendo had to, let's say, okay, do we do a E3? And if anything, everyone looked forward to Nintendo having an E3, not Sony, not Microsoft. It was always Nintendo. Nintendo was always
I agree. Nintendo was
forward to that.
Yeah. Nintendo was the one you'd look forward to. And
but everyone followed suit. And then Microsoft followed suit, Sony followed suit, and then when Nintendo started doing their own thing, look, everyone else started doing it. Not just Sony and Microsoft, but other companies as well.
Yeah. No, that's
But then what's the need for E3 then?
Yeah.
I still do miss that E3 environment, and I actually wanted to go to E3 and almost could have gone to E3. Then things happened, COVID, all that stuff. But it would have been awesome to actually go to an event where everything is happening. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft, PC, everything, all
well,
at once.
I mean,
freaking awesome.
To do that, you would have to go back in time 10 years.
Yeah,
like I mean,
when they were all in the same.
they're all together. The relevancy was there. I mean, like say even 5 years ago, the relevancy was gone. You know,
but I mean, there are still events happening, but it's just not E3. But I think.
But what's the point if you're not going to go for the big reveal? Like E3, the big thing about E3 was the reveals, right? That was the whole the big thing.
And we all were on the edge of our seats watching E3 live.
Yeah. No, I get you. But that E3, the boat on E3 sailed a long time ago. We just E3 and you did not get the message till this summer.
Well, look at Game Awards, like the Game Awards,
Summer Games Fest,
Summer's Game Fest,
Tokyo Gaming Show,
Tokyo Gaming Show. You have the
Gamescom.
Other Gamescom, what's up, and then also like other gaming conventions like Evo. Like you'll never get rid of
PAX,
Evo. PAX, PAX East.
Yeah, so there's other ones that are still going on that have been around for years. It just happens that E3, I would say the main one, the main showcase, it's not happening.
Yeah, but I wonder. I mean, I feel like E3 kind of maybe priced itself out. It was becoming larger than life, and E3 was the biggest expo, and as far as the United States is concerned. So, I mean, I don't know why. To be honest, I don't know 100% why it did just pretty much go. I don't say E3 is completely obsolete because people would still be excited about E3, but without the major publishers or the major console makers being there, it's kind of like, what's the point? But and then now you have all these other conventions that are still going on, a smaller scale, but people are still going to go to them. So I don't know. E3 is a weird phenomenon. I'm not gonna lie. It's while other ones are flourishing, E3 failed, at least for this year. And I don't know. I don't know if E3 can bounce back, especially if unless E3 can somehow entice these console makers to come back. I don't know. I don't know why it failed.
I don't think that there is a. I don't
think there's a way back.
Yeah, I don't see any reality.
I think there might be a way back.
No, it's just people have already created their own little communities. So, like the PlayStation people are gonna want to go to a PlayStation event. The Sony people are gonna want to go to a Sony event. Nintendo people, it's the same thing that's happened with like BlizzardCon or whatever.
BlizzCon.
They're like, BlizzCon. I'm sorry. There's like communities that are already built and people prefer it that way.
I think you nailed it when we said, or whoever said it, it's cheaper. It's just cheaper to produce
It is.
production
Companies always
this
look
way.
for the
Yeah.
cheapest route with the most
Cheaper,
effect.
there's
It's
less liability.
It's cheaper,
get
and you
the
don't have to
same
compete
impact.
with someone in the same show.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to compete. I mean, I feel like games like E3 back in the day, like let's talk about like peak E3 times. This is the Halo 3 times. This was Gears of War times for like Xbox,
The
Sony.
Rock appearing at the Xbox event.
Yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
like back in the day, that like those were big events. But also, the internet is still in its infancy. I feel like the internet has matured a lot. So, you know, what was possible, you know, in 2004 and five. I mean, we're leaps. I won't say light years, but we're leaps ahead of what we was capable back then. So, and now, like I said, if you can have a camera, I mean, there's children now who are streaming and so forth with minimal rigs, and they can.
And the Dalai Lama is probably watching.
And the Dalai Lama is definitely watching it, talking about
Suck
absolutely
that tongue.
we're moving on from that. But yeah, it's crazy that these companies can literally save thousands, if not like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from appearing, and it's like, are they going to make their money back? And now with AAA games being so expensive, and like you could spend millions of dollars on a game and not recoup your money back potentially, or you come with a blockbuster and make billions. Why take that gamble when the hype is going to be there regardless? If people are hyped for a game, they're going to find out about it. And like I said, these publishers like IGN, they're going to cover these games irregardless. So the communities and the hype around them are going to happen whether it's an E3 or not. E3 is just another conduit for people to know about it.
The cycle of like E3, when we were in the thick of, think of the height of E3, the best E3 you could think of, or the most modern version of it, where you had a trailer and then you had media people getting hands-on with something, and then you got more feedback from a game. So there was a lot of coverage. That's still been happening. It's just been isolated.
Not at E3.
Not at E3, and so Sony or Nintendo or whoever controls that. They invite media to an area, offsite on a specific date, and they show a trailer to the general audience, and they can still do a hands-on preview.
Yeah.
So that still exists. And then for the people like at Underground looking for that E3 experience, and I feel you. I was, I definitely felt that magic back in the day. I mean, attend the Game Awards in the audience. That's, I think, encapsulates E3, because you get your big reveals. It's a
little different though.
I don't think so. I think all the hype of the reveals, being in an audience full of people, it's like an encapsulation of E3. I think that's your last version of that you could possibly get. Then it's gone. So
I
if you're interested in that,
I honestly don't want to see a game reveal, or rather a console reveal, at a gaming award show. I'd rather see it.
You'll never see a console reveal there, but you'll see a game trailer, like a big game trailer.
The Xbox Series X was announced.
What you could do about VGA?
It was announced. It was shown. Yeah.
Yikes.
I'd rather see it at a conference or some kind of
like a trade show.
Conference. Sure.
That's what E3 was, right?
E3
just a
trade show, yeah.
Yeah, or at one of their own conferences or something like that. I don't want to see it like sitting down in a suit or a casually dressed, nice looking outfit.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this: if you guys could go back in time and attend one reveal event, what would you guys like to go back to see?
It would have to be close to the Wii U era. No, the Wii era.
The Wii era was the one. Yeah,
I would say either the Wii era or PlayStation 2.
Jaguar CD.
Oh, Jaguar CD.
Nice.
I'm gonna say Xbox One.
He wants that smooth Clay Fighters.
Oh, to see The Rock. Clay Fighters.
Oh, you're right. I wanted to see fucking Bill Gates and his awkward ass introducing that Chrome Xbox. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
remember?
Right.
Yeah.
That was
I was talking about the Xbox One, where they had the 10 and the what was it? Sports. What was it?
Sports TV, sports
TV.
No.
Oh, that was such a good.
No.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah,
that. Actually, for real, I'd like to go to the legendary Sony one that had all the insane. The Final Fantasy was in there. They dunked on Xbox. It was like I have watched that highlight reel from that conference like multiple times. Like the crowd is, it's like cocaine.
Yeah,
they're like they were siphoning out cocaine into this crowd, and it was like at the right to like Xbox fucked up, and Sony was like, "Oh, okay, yeah," and then they just went to town, and it was slam dunk after slam dunk after slam dunk.
The Final Fantasy,
I would love to be in that one.
The Final Fantasy reveal was insane.
Insane.
I will say I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know if you guys were even alive during this time. Was the Final Fantasy tech demo? If you guys remember that, like people went absolutely.
We were alive, I'm sure.
I mean, I was making a joke. Final Fantasy 7 tech demo was people went shit crazy because everybody was expecting that demo to come out, and like we didn't get the actual game for
PS3 tech demo, right?
I think it was a PS3 tech demo.
Yeah, but everyone thought it was an actual like trailer, a game coming up or a remake, and everyone was losing their shit. It's like no, it's just a tech demo.
Yeah, we didn't get the game. So we didn't get the actual game until 2 generations later, pretty much. No, it's just absolutely crazy.
Good times though, man.
It was great times. It was absolutely great.
Well, wasn't there also another like big one where someone announced like a price, and then Sony just came up and announced $100 less, and literally they just announced the price.
Well,
Sony, everyone lost their shit.
Sony there's memeified for announcing PlayStation 3 at an obscene, like insane price point.
Yeah.
Got memeified. I forgot what it was. It was like $700, $699.
No, it was $100 less.
PlayStation 3, I think, was supposed to be initially like $700, $800. It was stupid expensive.
$800, yeah.
And this is for the fat PlayStation 3, and then they cut it down like to like $500 to be competitive with the Xbox 360. And people.
The PS4 had the first PS4 conference, like when they revealed the price. And that was the Dunk Fest where they slammed on them for the game sharing. Remember that?
That was after the game sharing was after.
No.
Because they made a commercial or whatever saying
they made it like backstage right before the thing where it was like
I could have sworn it was after because no one knew about it until after.
No, they showed it during the conference. They showed it and the crowd lost. This is one of the ones I was talking about where they're like releasing cocaine into the atmosphere.
So they must have made that.
Yeah, they literally said they just made it the day of the conference. They were like, Xbox screwed up here. What do we do? And then they made the little clip, and everyone lost their minds. But I think in that same one they revealed the price point for the PS4 for the first time, and it was very it was good. It was what people were hoping for. So
yeah, PS4.
Which one was the one where they did it was the Wii one, right? Where they did the guy playing the drums with the Wiimotes.
Yeah, that was Wii Music, right?
Wii Music? I don't know. Is that the one where Reggie was like, "My body's ready"?
That's the fitness thing.
Yeah, I thought it was fitness.
We Fit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, man, we had some, like of course we weren't there. Yeah. And actually I'm looking at Reggie. It was for the Wii Fit where they had the scale thing.
Yeah.
But when we look back at it, like we were in a golden age of video games, right?
Yeah,
like,
we were.
I mean, I remember, when Resident Evil came out for the GameCube, people were like, this is the most next gen. Like they think we probably created like artificial intelligence. They're like, how is this game looking so good on this small ass console, on this little ass CD, but yet the graphics at the time were phenomenal. I mean, this is the same generation that we had Mario Sunshine, right? And
there was also a Zelda tech demo that never got released, but it was shown of Link fighting Ganondorf.
What the? Did you just confuse Zelda with Link?
Yeah,
I confused saying Zelda tech.
Fake fan.
Anyways, there's a Zelda tech demo of Link fighting Ganondorf for GameCube.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like an Ocarina of Time.
That was Wii U, I believe.
Yeah,
no, that was GameCube. That was GameCube.
Yeah, I think it was GameCube.
It was GameCube for when people thought that was the Wii U next gen game.
It came out to be Twilight Princess, pretty much. Yeah, no, I do remember that tech demo, and everybody, even myself, was like, "Yo, this is Ocarina of Time, pretty much too. This is the alternate timeline to Ocarina of Time," and it turned out to be absolutely nothing. But it was like we've been around some of the greatest console generations ever. Like PS2 still, I think it's still the top selling console of all time. And to be able to, I remember when I got my PS2, it was awesome. Like it was like the greatest thing ever. I mean, you went going from a PlayStation to PlayStation 2. I mean, I remember Zone of the Enders. Like that's one of the first games I got, and I like that game was amazing. Like
it was great.
You could do things that you could never do with a PlayStation. So, but honestly, I think the conventions of yesterday are kind of dying out, unfortunately. It's not I don't think we'll ever get to peak hype of E3 back in the day like we have now. Because I remember back in the day, E3, like I used to remember the G3 back in the day. Like that's the only way you could get your G3 E3 news. Like you either load it up on some shitty website.
G4.
Or G4, is it G4?
Yeah. G4.
That was G3. Yeah, G4. That was the only way you could be able to get your like gaming news, like on these big conferences. Or you had shitty internet and was able to look at web pages. Or you had to get an IGN or Game Nintendo Power magazine or some shit and be able to read it. So this is IGN.
Crazy. You'd have to wait for it to buffer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Another cool thing. This is something we don't do anymore, which is probably one of the best things. This is like I'm going down nostalgia train really quick. Remember demo CDs back in the day?
Yes, I played those nonstop, especially for the Dreamcast. I played Power
PlayStation Jam Packed. Remember the PlayStation Jam Packed?
Yes.
There'd be people really stealing CDs out the magazines and the jewel stores.
Yep.
Well, I remember I had a PlayStation 1. Like obviously, my parents are not buying me PlayStation games on the regular, but you know what they were buying me? The jam packs. I had like a collection of all the all the demos I had.
And then they used to have game videos on there for demos that were coming out or games that were coming out. And I would play. For some reason, as a kid, I was such an idiot. I was like, maybe if I do a secret code, I could be able to somehow. Because people used to say like the full
they
game.
put that stuff in there. They put that stuff in, not the full game, not the full game.
But in some games, they
put
something
secret
in there.
things inside the jam pack where you could find it.
Yeah, but some people used to say like, oh well, these developers they didn't know how to cut the game off, so they would put the whole game in there and just have an artificial block in there so the game would end. And I used to, as a kid, think I could outsmart the devs and somehow unlock the full game out of these demos, and such good times. But we'll see what happens. Talking about
hacking them.
Yeah, I was a young hacker back in the day. Talking about demos coming up, we did see State of Play will be coming out this Thursday for PlayStation. They're going to focus on Final Fantasy 16, which I know I'm excited for. I don't know how many Final Fantasy fans. I know Green Tuner, I know you're a pretty big Final Fantasy buff. For the older ones.
The older ones, yeah. I think the last one I played was the one where they were in the car. What was that one?
15.
Well, okay, so the last numbered one before this one. The new trail looks interesting. The only thing, I guess things change. I kind of miss the old days where it was more fantasy based.
Sure.
Where you had like more wizards and colorful settings and otherworldly.
Isn't that
things.
what this one is?
No. It does have like the Final Fantasy elements, don't get me wrong, but it's darker, going into a darker
I thought
setting.
This game was, and I haven't seen the footage you guys are talking about, but I know like I've seen other footage of the game. It seemed like they went back to their roots of more medieval type of
no, it is medieval. It's more, I would say, for a lack of a better comparison, would be like Game of Thrones, but with Final Fantasy. So I was saying more in the sense of like
you want more high. I'm talking like high fantasy is what you're looking for.
I'm high fantasy, Final Fantasy, like even 10, yeah, 6, 10, 9.
Mhm.
7 is someone like a more of like a mech one.
Like a 4.
Yeah, 4.
For, yeah.
That's that type of setting.
What's the 9? 9's the one I think of. Like
9, yeah, 9 like really,
9 they went
yeah.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna come back anytime soon, to be honest.
Yeah, they're going back to like Final Fantasy like 12. What's the one? Is it 12? Where it's
12
more,
is the one where there's the desert, isn't it? Where they're running around in the desert.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
12.
the 12, like 12 and 13. They're going
Yeah.
back to those like, medieval kind of scenes. But I see what you're saying. I mean, you want something that's
Yeah.
more fancy. You want fancy characters with colorful outfits that look like they shouldn't be part of that world, but they are part of that world.
Exactly.
And they're just goofy looking, but it's all fantasy. No, I totally agree. Like Final Fantasy is trying to build itself into a lot of medieval fantasy, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if we got a current gen version.
Yeah, because we already have like Elden Ring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We already have like better examples of that style that they're trying
Maybe
to go
they're
for.
Inspired by Elden Ring.
Oh, they're definitely inspired by. At least it looks like they're heavily inspired by Elden Ring or games like that, but with the Final Fantasy touches. So you still see chocobos, and you'll see I forgot. Yeah, the summons. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
but it looks way bloodier. Like there's a shot of like this kid, I guess he's a prince or something, and they kill his guard or something. I don't know who they kill in front of him, but you literally see like a streak of like a splash of blood just land all over his face. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Is this Final Fantasy?
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. So,
well, I mean, coming from Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 15 was more realistic looking and more kind of that same feel of 16. So I can see why they're kind of doing that.
Yeah, but it seemed more like a road trip to me.
Yeah,
like it still was very lighthearted. Yeah. I like 15. I played it.
I liked it too.
Ton. Yeah, it was really, really fun. It was like you know what it was? It was like it could be relaxing if you wanted it to be relaxing, and it could be challenging if you wanted it to be challenging.
Absolutely,
which is what I liked about it.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the showcase will present to us on Thursday. So that should be a good time. Last topic before we get into our main topic was UFC WWE. So it was announced that UFC and WWE are being merged under one company now at this point. Now, I am not a big WWE fan, and I have fallen out of love with the UFC as of recently. Well, probably the past couple of years.
Same.
But Ed Underground, you are a huge WWE fan.
Whoa.
You love WWE. Whoa. You love seeing men wrestle each other in big scenarios with oil and tights. Please tell us more about this.
Hey, Chico.
So, hey, yo.
Exactly.
Razor Ramon. You know that. I mean, that's old school.
Don't ever try it.
That's old school.
Razor Ramon, like he's more manly in one finger than you have. He has more testosterone in that one finger than you have in your whole body.
I learned how to be as cool and suave as Razor Ramon. Learned it from him. So, Chico.
Learned wrong.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. If anything, you were inspired by Doink the Clown.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
no. Surprisingly, he's ever come back, but no.
All right, so tell us how you feel about this.
So I have actually not been a WWE fan as of for a while. Up until hold on,
AEW now.
He thought,
well, I do like AEW.
Vince McMahon died. He's like,
no.
He died. It died with him.
You mean fucking budget John Waters? With that little black mustache and black dyed hair, he looks ridiculous.
He does look
weird.
He does not look like himself.
Looks like a cartoon character.
He's having the most public midlife crisis I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
Midlife,
there's a thing
late
where
late life crisis.
Yeah, late life crisis.
He doesn't like it when you sneeze in front of him. Apparently, it's like a sense of you can't control your own body or something like that.
Yeah, he's a psycho.
Yeah,
he lives in his own world. I mean, he's friends with Donald Trump, so I mean. Hey,
Yeah, that's true. Two psychos kind of gravitate towards each other.
Psychos. I thought that was your hero.
Oh, me? No. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I thought you loved him.
Fake fan,
yeah, you
fake
got his
fan.
one-on-one.
Oh, for sure,
NFT.
I'm a fake fan. Yeah.
One-on-one NFT.
Well, now you have
actually-
three psychos, right? With Dana White, do you throw him in there?
Oh my goodness! It's just a circle of cycles.
Yeah.
Dan
Circle
White,
jerk.
at least he's fair. He gives equal rights and equal lefts. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
He will punch anybody.
He will just slap
family,
man, woman,
girlfriend,
wife, son,
Yeah.
probably you name it.
son,
He'll smack
daughter,
that shit out of a bitch.
dog, cat.
Equal opportunity offender.
Alligator.
He says anybody can get it.
So I've actually been getting into WWE recently only because of the Bloodline story, which has actually been really good. It's a lot of people would say it's the best storyline in years. So hey, I'm just saying. So
Sounds amazing.
no, it's good. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
It just
sure.
sounds so
Story,
weird
like I
when-
said, story is good.
I don't know. Granted, everybody has their thing. I get it. I'm not trying to shame you at Underground on what you
Sure.
like. It's just funny when
Sure.
I see a grown man talking about, yeah, the Bloodline, the WWE storyline is so good. I turn into
Well-
Monday Night Raw every weekend or every week.
No, I don't. I don't actually. No.
That's the one with Cody Rhodes, right?
Well, Cody Rhodes is in there now, yeah, but he's not in the
Okay.
Bloodline. But anyways,
Okay.
What's up?
so Monday Night
okay.
Raw does still happen, but I watched like the highlights, and it's actually pretty good. YouTube highlights.
Okay.
All right.
I can't
So-
spend 3 hours watching wrestling. I watch the
He's
highlights.
not a child. Please.
Exactly.
I just feel
He has
it's
no time
weird.
for that.
I just feel
I
like it's-
don't. What?
I feel
Like I
it's
said,
weird.
So I've actually stopped watching wrestling for WWE for a long period of time because
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the
bad.
merger?
Thank you.
It's interesting. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, whatever. It's interesting. I think it's actually a good decision. If anything, what's the son's name? Vince McMahon's son.
Shane?
Shane McMahon. Yeah. He was actually interested in buying UFC back when it was starting to get, before it started getting hot. So he actually was trying to have his dad to buy UFC or the thought of it.
Yeah.
Well, good thing he didn't.
I mean, in a way, maybe, yeah, but it got really hot and he never even made a deal with him or anything. So now for UFC or Endeavor. Indoor, yes, I'm thinking of Star Wars.
Andor.
Yes,
It's a crossover.
Endeavor, yes. And for Endeavor to buy UFC, I think it's interesting. I don't know where it's going to go. I think it's better than Disney buying it or an out-of-country organization. There is talks about an out-of-country organization or company buying.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, buying WWE.
Okay.
That
Yeah, I
was
know.
rumored
Saudi
for a while.
Arabia is like
and trying to be like
they're-
super PC here.
no.
No,
It's
I just
the truth.
remember.
Saudi Arabia, because they're trying to clean up their image, they're buying everything.
Yes. How do you
They're
know
buying
these
game
things? Green
companies.
Tuner?
They're buying because they're buying everything. They
Even
are.
I knew that. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they're
talked a lot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, they're really trying to clean up their image because of the
Yeah.
craziness that goes up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they were the most famous one was that golf tournament. I forgot what it was, where they
Yeah,
were
I
just
forgot.
offering ridiculous amounts of money to players.
Yeah.
And the biggest one that they couldn't get was Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger just had no interest in playing for anyone but the PGA. But yeah, and they've done it for like gaming companies, for sports teams, race car teams, you name it. They're buying up everything.
Yeah. So I think the merger or Endeavor buying WWE is interesting because WWE has been independent for forever,
Yeah.
I would say.
I thought it was a
So-
public traded company.
Yeah, it is. They got sponsors now and all that stuff. They have sponsors ever since the Attitude Era started to die down. That's why they couldn't do anything racy anymore.
Yeah.
Because of that, they have to, make their
Okay, all right. Well, all right. So you
Anyways,
think
I-
it's interesting? That's
It's
what you're
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope it goes in the right direction because
Man, that was the most
It's-
non-answer answer I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think it's a better decision.
Because like, what do you think? We're waiting for something to happen.
Well,
You're like,
I think
there's
it's
this
the
whole
best. No, I
thing
think it's
about
the best.
bloodlines and
Well,
Damn you,
said
Creamcast,
the
Creamcast. Damn you
greatest.
for this. I hate you.
Dark side, so they're falling asleep, and that's like it's interesting and
Well, no, like I said, I think
he's like spinning in a circle where there's no exit to the conversation.
No, there's an
and I'm
exit.
just like, for God's sake, throw him like a lifesaver or something.
There's an exit. So, like I said earlier, I think this is a better decision than Disney or Saudi Arabia buying out WWE.
Why is
All
that?
right.
Why do you think
Why?
that? Well,
Because, as you know, so Saudi Arabia, so WWE did go to the Saudi Arabia a few times, called Crown Jewel, their event, and
Yeah.
the women there, they had to actually be fully clothed. They
Nice.
can't.
Yeah.
They
hurrah.
allowed women.
Yeah, they
into
allow
the
women.
event.
They allow women to wrestle at
That's
the events.
incredibly progressive.
That is progressive.
Yeah, for them it was.
Haram.
Believe
That's
me, it was an
huge.
uphill battle
That's
from what I
huge.
read.
Haram.
But yeah, they
Absolutely
had to
right.
be completely dressed.
But compared to how they always are in America, they're not nude, but they wear less.
No, I know. But in Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia, it's like, what was the rule? Like, women can drive, but they had to have a male with them,
Yeah,
right?
Something like that.
they
Yeah.
got it with
Yeah.
them.
So
Oh, and also
You're talking about the performers. You're talking about the
yeah, the
wrestlers.
performers.
It's not the
Yeah.
performers.
Oh no, no.
I
thought
thought
in
you
the
said they were
audience?
in attendance.
Oh, you
No.
fool!
Yeah.
the
Oh, you
performers,
fool.
the performers.
No,
but
no,
also,
no, it was a sausage fest, my
Absolutely.
friend.
no, there were women.
I believe it's called a
in
kebab
the audience.
fest.
Yeah.
Yes, in the audience too.
I have to check because
No,
By the way,
Yes.
anyone listening, I am Middle Eastern of descent, so I can make all these jokes, and I'm hereby authorizing the Blur Podcast members to be free of any kind of.
Okay, thank you, man.
Yeah.
and this is America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free
Also-
speech.
Also,
free.
Also,
Okay.
make America great again.
Yeah.
wow.
Oh man,
Look,
Get
if
it
I want to
right.
have
You're right.
if I want to have 20
Perfect
semi-automatic
storm.
guns in my house, it's my Second Amendment.
It's your
That's
second
right.
minute, man.
Oh, also, so there were a few wrestlers who did not want to go to the Saudi Arabia shows who are for the I'm not probably to pronounce it wrong, the LGBT TQ community.
You made
Yeah.
it. You made it.
That was correct.
He forgot the
How
IA.
happy?
He forgot the IA plus.
I don't know. I
I was
No,
gonna
man,
say. I was
at
gonna
least
say. I would really
look,
wanted
let-
Ed to get to LGBT
No.
and then add 30 more letters.
No, let's give
But-
some credit to my boy Ed. At least
But
he knew
going-
the
He did a
thing.
good job.
going further with that. So when they had their Saudi Arabia shows, a few people who were considerate of that particular community did not go, or who may be in that particular community did not go because
So those repressive laws. Same thing happened in the World Cup. Remember, the
Yeah.
soccer teams were gonna
Yeah.
wear like rainbow flags, and they basically were forced not to have any kind of mention of the LGBT movement.
yeah. So this is why I'm saying that I think it's a better decision that Endeavor had purchased WWE rather than a company from Saudi Arabia, because a lot of people.
Could you imagine we would have Abdullah the Butcher too?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
Would that really happen? Would that really happen? though?
Awesome.
Iron Sheik returns
Probably as a champion.
Number
I don't know.
one,
as champion. Yeah.
Iran number one.
I mean, I think this merger overall is good because one, it allows the UFC and allows WWE to pull their resources. I believe that there's definitely overlaps that are common between the two.
Brock
so with-
Lesnar, Ronda Rousey.
No, Dana White had come out the way before saying that his inspiration for how he set up the company, the UFC, was the WWE.
Yeah,
He basically grabbed the blueprint and just applied it to mixed martial arts.
yeah, and
But he's always praised Vince McMahon and how he runs the company.
yeah, and Shane McMahon did actually try to start his own little UFC underground thing. Actually, a few years ago, it didn't succeed, but he tried it himself. through WWE.
Yeah, so with Endeavor taking over, is so it's not a complete takeover. They're just gonna have 51% stake, so they're gonna have 51% ownership, and stakeholders have 49%. So it's not like Endeavor is 100% like buying out the WWE. So at this point, I feel like this is a good thing. I think that the only thing that may change, I feel like a lot of things are going to stay the same with this merger. Only thing that probably will be different is that now WWE might go back to pay-per-view model, just like with UFC.
They've been having it already.
No, I thought they stopped a lot of those.
Yeah, I thought they stopped.
Yeah, for USA Network. And then they have their USA Network hosts a lot of their.
And Underground, is the WWE Network still a thing?
Yeah, it's like WWE Network service and the USA
Network.
Yeah,
I thought all the pay-per-views were free if you had the WWE Network.
So technically, it is. It's not called the WWE Network anymore. Everything has been switched over to Peacock.
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah,
but I'm saying like actual legit pay-per-views, like old school pay-per-views are going to start becoming a thing again, as opposed to being part of a subscription network instead.
I mean, they have pay-per-views. It's just on Peacock.
Yeah, so that's not a true pay-per-view.
Yeah, but you get them on I guess it is, but it isn't like you have to. Let's say you have Peacock, this new style of pay-per-view, you will have to pay to actually watch it, to rent it.
Yeah.
As opposed to it being included with your Peacock subscription.
Yeah. So this is not like a WWE Network type of situation. Yeah, exactly. So this is old school pay-per-views where you're paying $100 to see the event, which back in the day, I mean,
pay-per-views were expensive.
They were expensive.
Yes, they were.
Like anywhere from $50 to $100
anymore.
Yeah. So I think they might come back. I mean, because they do that with UFC, right? Isn't UFC like the big title?
Yeah, they do
big title card fights. They do pay-per-view. So yeah, I think that's probably what to bring money back in. WWE is worth quite a bit of money. I think it's like $12 billion at the moment. So I mean, if you want to boost revenue sales, have the Peacock whatever subscription, but then for the major title cards or major matches, like Rumble in the Jungle, or whatever else pay-per-view event there is, you could pay. Charge people $50 for it, and there's still a lot of fans out there that absolutely will pay for that. So, especially if you bump up the quality, you bump up the stakes. I think
quality's good.
Huh?
Quality's good.
You can always do better.
Yeah, you can always. The only thing that I'm looking forward to is like when like John Jones is fighting someone, like he pulls out a steel chair from underneath the octagon,
absolutely,
and then smashes the.
I want to see that.
Yeah. if I don't see people getting tombstoned and getting rock bottom, getting people's elbow, if I don't see those type of things in the UFC fight, I kind of don't want it. If I don't see the walls of Jericho, I kind of don't want it at that point.
Yeah, I want to see them cut to the UFC fight, then cut to Dana White watching it UFC fight. And then going into some soap opera bit in the back, and then it's like, "All right, guys, I'm out of here." And he gets into his limousine and
it blows up,
it explodes.
Oh my God, Dana White's dead.
or the craziest thing is if Dana White gets into a ring and his wife is there and they're arguing about something. He's like, "It's just part of the act, guys. It's part of the act."
She's a performer.
That's what that was. He didn't really slap her. Then
it was a long-term storyline.
An act, a long-term storyline for this.
WWE,
it all makes sense.
Guys, come on, like you guys gotta get
it.
Now,
so.
But a good meme. Surprised no one's done it yet.
They probably have, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not deep in the UFC WWE world. So, but in either case, so that merger is going through. So we'll see what happens with both of those ventures and the future of both WWE and UFC. All right, unless we have anything else, let's move on to our main topic.
Wahoo!
Like
Mamma mia,
here we go.
Mario.
That's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I pretty much could have voice acted for this movie based on what I saw in the movie from Chris Pratt. But we're obviously
Easy now.
Wow.
Easy now.
we're
Wow.
obviously,
I'm walking here.
yeah.
You guys like that?
Yeah, I loved it. That was
That's
good.
my
actually.
Mario.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about Mario. Super Mario Bros. Movie came out this past week. Came out on Wednesday, which was surprising for a lot of people. A lot of people weren't expecting it to come out on a Wednesday, but people forget Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday, they always put the movies out a day early to get those early sales
on the holiday. Boy, did it work.
Huh?
And said, boy, did it work.
It absolutely worked.
Bananas. Buco bucks.
People were going to see this movie like crazy. We saw it on Friday night, and we had to sit in the second row at the very front to be able to get seats because this movie was packed.
To the brim.
Yeah, this movie did extremely well, which I think nobody was really surprised. This is a movie, a nostalgia train for us old folks, and of course, as we said before, a lot of these animated shows, people like our age who have children will bring their kids to pretty much show them like, hey, this is kind of the stuff that we used to watch. Now is more animated than what we remember.
All kids, this is a property that connects to all generations simultaneously. Yeah, everyone has that. Even the young ones play Mario in some fashion.
Yeah.
So it relates to them, and
my little niece,
we'll get into it. We'll get into it here.
Yeah, my little niece, 7 years old. She knows Mario. She knew Bowser. She knew Bowser's kids.
Good for her. Good for her.
She knew Princess Peach. She knew everything about Mario, and it was crazy because here we are. I'm 30, 36, whatever, 37.
Good Lord.
And I'm old as hell. And I'm sitting here, quizzing my 7-year-old niece, and she's sitting here, rattling off all the different Mario characters and everything. So it's kind of crazy that a generational divide of 30 years, and we both are melded together in the love of Mario. So beautiful. It's it's an awesome thing. A lot of kids when I went to the theater on Friday, pretty much for every adult there was probably 4 kids, which was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to actually see. And the kids it seems like the kids honestly enjoyed it. I was actually surprised. The kids that I went with my brother-in-law and his kids, and then one of his friends came with his kids, and it seemed like all the kids loved the movie, which even for the kids that were older, like 13, 14, they loved the movie too. I was like, this is kind of surprising. I didn't really think teenagers are going to be all angsty, like
pessimistic.
Like this movie
sucks.
This
sucks, man.
This sucks. Where's Sonic? This sucks.
Where's Sonic?
Of course, these kids.
Where's the Fortnite guy?
Yeah, like these kids. Of course, they think they know everything. They're like, Sonic is so much faster. He could just blaze through those pipes and clean those pipes out. It's just like like stop being obnoxious little shit.
Fuck up. Yeah.
But.
But you saw it with kids. You did see it with kids.
Yeah, I saw it with kids and they liked it, and I was actually surprised. My nephew,
at undergrad, were you with children in your group when you went?
No. So normally I would go with someone to see a movie, but it came out on Wednesday and I was free, so I ended up seeing it by myself. I actually saw it in IMAX 3D.
Dark Side. Where were you?
But so I saw it. Where was I?
Yeah, because usually, why would you let our boy, the Ed Underground, go by himself? You should have been right there with him.
Hold on. Why couldn't I take my child? My child was doing something at the time, so.
I don't know what that means. He's playing with his dollies or something. Yeah, but
that's weird.
Look, Ed Underground is look.
I got a star, by the way.
You guys can come after me. I don't really care. It is what it is.
Sure.
I believe in rearing a child by giving him some independence.
Sure.
And he's a little movie critic, so he's adorable.
It is adorable.
He walks right out. It's really cute. But
I'm surprised he didn't walk out.
I did see the movie Solo, much like the Ed Underground. Now I saw it in a theater full of families and children, and I got the esteemed backseat position.
Nice.
Like I was the single guy in the back, lonely to the edge.
It's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, extremely creepy. Yeah, extremely creepy. You know,
Mommy, who's that?
Yeah, there's certain parts of the movie where I was
back.
Yeah, what's that sound? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, when the certain sequences happen in the movie, I was just back there like, woohoo! I feel like, what the hell? Call the manager. Call the manager.
Wow.
But no. I did see it with a lot of kids, and like what I want to say is like there's an enthusiasm that kids had watching this movie that made the experience better for me.
Yeah.
And it came from the kid, and all the kids in my audience were well behaved. There was one stupid kid going, "Who's that?" And his dad was like, "Quiet." And I was like, "My man." But yeah, overall the kids were pretty good, and they were laughing at all the right stuff. And yeah, they knew all the characters and all the references, and I had a lot of hope for the future during my experience. I was real hopeful for the next generation.
Nice. Now, I mean, this is kind of a common theme that we have on the Blurred podcast, where some of us watch it and some of us do not. I do want to highlight that one of us on this podcast did not watch the Super Mario movie. It's not who you think.
Underground.
Oh, well, I was gonna say. I was like, it's not who you think it is, but yeah, I mean, usually
it's never who you think.
Everybody assumes it's Ed Underground who didn't watch it. I would have, if I was a betting man, I would have put my bottom dollar on the Ed Underground.
I saw it before anyone of y'all saw it.
That's congratulations, Ed. I'm very proud of you.
That's true.
Good for you.
Pat yourself on the back.
Give him a gold star.
Yeah, I'll rub your back later. Green Tuner, why didn't you see the movie?
Yeah,
I can't help support such a negative stereotype in film of an Italian man.
Okay.
So I refuse to support those type of depictions of the good people of Italy.
Yeah,
I really like your politically correct answer.
Yeah, he. I remember him. I told him about a scene of the meatballs, and them eating spaghetti. He was like, Italians don't even eat spaghetti like that, and he was upset. He called the local police to have the movie shut down. He went full Karen mode.
We also told him about the person that actually worked on the film, one of the 3D artists who actually was a supporter of Donald Trump. So yeah, you can't support someone that is
Exactly.
Yeah, Green Tuner said that this is offensive. I won't stand for it. And he got in his lowrider and he just
bopped away. He bopped all the way home. He went and got some.
As I was wearing my wife beater and my Dickies.
Dickies.
It's offensive, Holmes.
Yeah,
and
was this before or after you cut the grass or whatever?
Yeah, he got his Dos Equis.
Easy now.
I had my hairnet on. It was
He said, "What up, fool?" So it was absolutely crazy.
The Valcos Locos forever. So
he was pretty upset about that.
No, like we were discussing earlier, my wife and I do movie night on Tuesdays.
Why is that?
It's more affordable.
Yeah, so
like I said, for us, 2 tickets with popcorn, drinks, and everything is under $20.
So
I'm shocked.
That's a tip for everybody. If you want to see movies for cheap, go on a Tuesday. Most movie theaters will have tickets reduced down to usually $5 per person. So, and that's even in the night shows. That's day, night shows. I think even matinees are getting even cheaper.
The ultimate cheap pro tip I'll give you: go to the first showing of any movie on a Tuesday. It'll be the cheapest. It's still $4.50.
It's $4.50. I thought it was like $3.75. Yeah, it's, either way, it's cheaper than $5. Then $5 for the rest of the day. So yeah, if you want to go see movies for cheap, go see them on Tuesday. You'll save yourself. Like my tickets to go see a movie on like the adult section 21 and up is $15 per person, I believe.
For a regular movie?
Yeah, 15. I think it's $18 for like IMAX or something like that per person. And normally I would pay that because I mean, shit, I want to stay away from the kids. But there are bigger seats, there's sofa seats as well for couples. But yeah, go see it on Tuesdays, save yourself some money, and then be able to splurge on snacks and so forth. So it's a really good deal. But yeah, unfortunately, because we had to do our podcast today, Green Tuner unfortunately was not able to see it. So if you're looking for his deep critiques of the movie, you're gonna have to wait until next week to do that. So you can, if you want to just jump off the podcast now because that's the only person you want to listen to, this is your opportunity to before we start spoiling the movie.
Out of the very, very few, would it be a series or movie that I have missed? I've never had a detailed explanation of why I couldn't see it.
Oh no, there's absolutely
okay, I see.
There's absolutely a reason why you don't.
Sour grapes over here.
Yeah, right. The reason why Ed Underground usually doesn't see it, and it actually was called out by one of our viewers. By one of our viewers. In the
beginnings.
Somebody asked me recently and said, "Hey, why is there that one person on the podcast who never watches anything but always has an opinion?" And I was
I've seen who's everything that? I was like, for months that? Now. And I've seen everything for months.
They're like, this person always has an opinion on something but never sees the stuff. Never watches it. Like the rest of the podcast, we'll watch it in the complete season. I won't say of one of the shows that really gets on his grinds his gears, but we all watched the complete season of this one TV show, and Ed Underground didn't. He just doesn't. He just hates supporting woke, progressive ideology. He actually technically hates women too. So
I love women.
It's crazy. So if you actually have any hate, send it to the Ed Underground, twitch.tv/the Ed Underground.
At darkside.com.
Yeah, that's not how URLs work, sir. But yeah, just go ahead and send it to him. Yeah, he just obviously just doesn't want to support the arts. We at the Blurred Podcast, the rest of us absolutely do. Green Tuner actually made a sacrifice for us today to shoot on a Tuesday. So that's the difference between you and the Ed Underground.
I did as well, but go on.
No, you don't. No. You'd be like,
I normally am off on Wednesdays.
You read other people's reviews and you form an opinion. That's exactly what happens. But
false.
It's okay. We still love you, Ed. So ultimately, what'd you guys think of the movie? Honestly, I didn't absolutely love the movie. I wasn't going crazy for this movie. I thought it was okay. But yeah, this movie, I felt like this was a perfect movie for children. I feel like this is the Mario that we should have gotten when we were kids, instead of that atrocity, that the live action one that we got.
I would never take that back.
How?
I would never.
Dare you?
Here's the thing. I will absolutely.
How?
Dark Side.
Green Tuner, I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
Okay, here comes the bullshit.
This movie, and I saw it hours ago, so my take is the freshest, baby. Yeah. So, this movie is the most fine movie on the scale. Like, it's not good and it's not okay. It's a step above okay and just under good, and it is fine. This is a fine movie, and it is safe. It is simple. It is quick. Too quick, in my opinion. The pace is ridiculous in this movie. Now it does, there's some requirement that it asks, and it's not that hard because it requires you to have some knowledge of the franchise, which I think just about everyone would.
Yeah.
But the movie, at times, I was thinking this movie, the casting, the dialogue was written by an AI generated system because it's so empty and emotionless and like just lacking any kind of it's like paint by numbers, connect the dots plot. It is a 1, 2, 3. It's like they took the booklet that the Super Mario World came in and were like, all right, here's the description of the game, make this into a movie. 1, 2, 3, connect the dots. Whereas I hear my brother Green Tuner here, back in the day, we came up from the 90s Mario movie, which what a contrast where you have creatives with no restriction from Nintendo going hog wild and now you have a polar opposite where you have creatives fully restricted by Nintendo, creating a unexciting, like just fine, just middle of the ground, most fine product. It didn't try to do anything better because they were too scared, and I'm sure the hand of Nintendo was like, no pop culture reference in here, please. And then they couldn't do anything below it. So Mario, they were like, you operate in this level here, and you don't go up or down. And Illumination was like, oh, okay. And the result of this movie was...
Were there any minions?
No. I will say one thing. This is probably the best Illumination movie, and because of that. But yeah, man, this movie was lacking like a life.
It was lacking soul.
It was lacking soul. It was just a... If you ask someone to, like, I literally said, if you ask Chat AI to make a Mario movie, give me a script for a Mario movie, this is what it would produce.
Yeah.
It's like so safe. Every character played it safe. Every actor performed it safe, except for Jack Black. He was great.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy was great. Those are the two standouts, in my opinion. They actually tried to bring something new to these characters I've known my entire life. Everyone else played it safe as hell. Chris Pratt, safe as hell. And you know what? Good on him. Safe as hell. He didn't want to make the anything too controversial. I kind of understand his predicament, but he played it safe. Charlie Day, I think, was good, but safe as hell. Everyone played it safe. Jack Black was the only one tried to like add a little spin, a flair. Yeah, Jack Black-ism on it. Anya Taylor-Joy, she added a little bit of personality to Peach that I really liked. But man, oh man, was this movie disappointing to me in that regards, that it was safe. Now there were highs that I experienced.
I disagree with that.
Go ahead.
You're missing a character.
That had flair?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not going to say Donkey Kong. If you say Donkey Kong, DK, I think Seth Rogen is the most detached individual.
Yeah, but no, I will say Ed Underground. Who do you think I'm going to say?
Toad.
No, not Toad.
That added flair?
Oh,
I think everyone else
happy, super happy star.
The star.
Oh, the Luma.
Yeah.
Star.
Okay, now I have a theory about the Luma too.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, we could get into it later, but I think that, yeah, we'll get into it later.
Go ahead and finish your point.
Yeah, finish your point.
My point? Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, my ultimate point was the 90s Mario movie. Like, I'm so glad I experienced that, and I got to watch that, and I got to see the creativity behind that movie. Like, it's not good, but it's so bad it's good. I like that movie a lot.
I'm glad that you say that. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I'm happy that you're saying it's not good.
It's not good, but it's so bad it's good for me in a nostalgia place.
It's so bad that it's bad. It's so bad that because of that movie, Nintendo didn't want to do anything else for what? Years? Was it 20, 30 years?
30 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you have two stark opposites where they went too far with that movie, and this one, they didn't go anywhere with this movie. So I don't think we're still yet to get a good Mario movie. And when I say a good Mario movie, I mean something that takes a children's property, and transcends it into like a film. And I'll give you the perfect example, and it's been used to hell because they did it so well, and it's the Lego movie. They took something that is just not supposed to work in a film, and they made it funny, engaging. Adults were engaged by it. Kids were engaged by it. This movie, the Mario movie, I was bored as an adult. There was not enough like wink wink nudge nudge sexual innuendo, like, you know how we were kids. When we were kids, animated movies had references that you didn't know what they meant till you got older.
Of course it did, because back then it was it was good, or I don't know if the correct word is accepted. I mean, Ninja Turtles had stuff in it.
Sure, but I think that the all-powerful hand of Nintendo was all over this movie.
I don't think it's the all-powerful hand of Nintendo.
I absolutely think it's the all-powerful hand of
Nintendo. Nintendo is so careful about their IPs.
They are. At the same time, I think it's really... You take Nintendo out of this, I think it's just the time that we live in.
I agree. I know what you're saying, but I think Nintendo is the same 50 years from now, 50 years in the past, 10 years in the past. They will always play it safe, no matter what era they're living in.
They'll play safe for the era of the time. So what they could get away with at the 90s was still tame comparatively to other movies out at the same time. It was but in this era, yes, they're not going to, but the thing is, I feel like Nintendo could have did more to get away. They could have did more and got away with it perfectly fine. They made little jokes here and there, totally fine, because at the end of the day, people who are going to be offended, they're going to be offended regardless. Like, let's look at like a good example, Hogwarts Legacy, right? Hogwarts, people were boycotting it, boycotting streamers, making streamers cry, but still grossed in. Like, I think that game in the first 24 hours, first week, had grossed way over $1 billion instantly. Right. So people are still going to support it. But I think Nintendo's one of those companies is so careful of its IPs that is not going to allow its IP, especially for, you gotta remember, Nintendo's probably still licking its wounds from that 90s movie. They're probably still they're like, damn, this went so bad. Now we're jumping into, instead of doing live action, this is Nintendo's first actual cartoon animated box office hit. Nintendo's like, okay, we can either do something that may work or may not work, or we can be super safe, target the kids, get the kids, and give a cookie cutter. All right, we're going from point A to B to C. There's no branching paths.
They're also detached from like cultural, like there's a Japanese detachment from what is playful humor that is appropriate and
it's
what
very
is not.
Americanized.
They don't know. They're like, no, we're not doing any of it. Like, can you have a playful joke about Mario laying pipe? You know what I mean? Kids wouldn't know what that means. All the adults would chuckle at it. Something like that. I think this movie was really missing, because how many adults are going to see this movie and saw this movie? Tons,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So like, there's nothing for them. But again, it's a kids movie, and it succeeds at being a kids movie.
That's the key word, kids movie. I went into this movie like knowing, okay, this is a kids movie. I'm not going to be.
He's done.
He's done.
Look at you. Look at you done. I went into this movie knowing it's going to be a kids movie. I wasn't expecting a blockbuster hit. Like, I went into Sonic, okay, this is a kids movie. I'm not going to be expecting 11 out of 10 perfection. And wow, I mean, would I want that? Yeah. Would I want like a more mature video game movie? Yeah, of course I do. But
was your expectation brought down to reality by the IGN Instagram?
No, I think it was set at what they said of that too.
Yeah, do you think you're influenced by the IGN Instagram?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So I saw this movie in IMAX 3D the day it came out. I would say the majority of people that watched it were adults, families. There are actually a few kids, and the kids were actually quiet. When something big happened, they like, oh, that's cool, or whatever. Something like almost sad happened, they kind of like, oh, they had reactions that were actually not the what's the word, not disturbing from the movie. It didn't take away from the movie. Like, no one was screaming, crying, stuff like that, where it distracted from the movie. But the adults there, they had a great time. It's a kids movie. I can see where they played safe in some areas, but I can also see this was a really entertaining, fun escape of a movie. They didn't go woke or anything like that, which I'm glad they didn't.
I'm not okay. I was about to say Creamcast. I'm not sure if you were
frozen.
I was not blinking the entire time that Ed was speaking.
Yeah,
wow.
Wow.
No, I thought you were moving. I saw you moving, but all right. I think it's better to watch this in 3D. I think it took me more of a ride in 3D than
I'm a little jealous you saw it in 3D. I think I would have liked to have seen it in 3D. I saw it regular IMAX.
Yeah,
I think it's best actually to see it in 3D, because it kind of takes you in. Like, I don't have a lot of favorite 3D movies. The first one is, of course, Avatar. Second one, maybe Avatar 2. This is a close second to Avatar 2 to me. It's really good. Yeah, the Rainbow Road, Donkey Kong's place. It was pretty cool. The cat suit.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I would like to see.
They had the Tanuki suit.
That
Do you want me to tell you?
It does have a Tanuki suit.
Yep.
Oh, and that scene where he's when the bullet's chasing him in 3D, really good.
Chef's kiss, that good.
Chef's kiss, really good.
Yeah.
In 3D, it's pretty good.
Yes.
But I was entertained, and I do agree with Anna Taylor. I forgot her name. Taylor.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy. Played Peach phenomenally, pretty well, and Jack Black as Bowser.
That's a
perfect
chef's kiss
choice.
for me.
That's a chef's kiss. Perfect
Yeah.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect choice.
He was great. Definitely
Mario-
embodied the character.
Mario was all right. I have no complaints with Mario. I think it could have been a better.
Now, here's the thing. So let's that's a criticism I hear. Could it have been better? I don't think so. I don't think
maybe. So. I think it was fine the way it was. I mean, he had the New York accent. He's from New York.
Yeah, but
I think it was fine.
He can't run around in the stereotype, and they make a joke about it early in the movie, really early in the movie.
Which the Easter eggs in the beginning all over the place. I think it was like throughout the whole movie.
There were a lot of Easter eggs, and but they weren't. When I first saw the movie, I probably only caught half of them, and I was kind of disappointed by the lack of Easter eggs.
I saw a lot.
Yeah, I think I saw a video afterwards where there were so many that I missed that are in there, but the ones I did see did bring a smile to my face, but not enough.
I mean, there were some that were clearly like in front of you, and there was also some that was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty neat.
I love the Punch Out pizzeria he's in.
Yeah, Punch Out Pizzeria.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you could see Little Mac's portrait in the back.
Yeah.
And Joe.
Or him playing the Super Nintendo. No, the Nintendo NES.
Yeah, he's playing the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, he was playing one of those. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
The NES, yeah.
NES, yeah. That was kind of cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was spending more time looking at like Easter eggs, trying to spot them, because I knew, like, going into this movie was only an hour and a half long, first and foremost, which was hour and a half. It's very short movie. And so I was like, I knew that the story wasn't going to be that great, so I was kind of like in and out of trying to pay attention to what was going on, as opposed to looking really for the Easter eggs. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did fall asleep like 2 times for a half a second during this movie. The Rainbow Road scene. I fell asleep for a second, and I was like, I woke up. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, I felt like the old guy at a movie theater. Like,
you are the old guy now.
I am. It's kind of like I feel like
when you woke up, were you like, were you like,
I caught myself
out of sorts.
Some kids were like,
like I caught myself snoring. And like not even snoring, but like, like taking a deep breath, and I'll be like, huh, what the fuck? Like, I'm here watching the movie. Like, why am I sleeping? Like the movie, the movie was just boring. Like, it was, like I said, it was okay, and I'm fine with it being at the level it was, due to the fact that this movie is not really meant for me. It's not meant for us adults. It's really meant for children. And the children are like everybody said, the children are into it. The children are loving it. Like the children,
but even like really young children. Because I think even older children would have also been bored by this movie.
Yeah, the older children, they actually liked it a little bit more than I thought they would. The younger children thought like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest movie ever. But the older ones were like, it wasn't bad. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, and they rated it appropriately. Like, they would give it a 5 out of 10. So I'm like, that's not bad for older children who may not be bored of watching something like this. Because like you said, the plot, the story is very linear. It just goes down the tunnel. It goes down the pipe, and it's not warping you to different areas. It goes straight down. You know exactly where you're going. You can see it all on the same screen, which is fine.
You brought up my favorite moment in the movie. Okay, my favorite moment in the movie was the Rainbow Road sequence, right?
The blue shell?
Not the blue shells.
That was kind of my favorite.
Where everyone gets in the carts and then they jump and the Rainbow Road music kicks in. That was a high point for me. Now, this is a perfect example where, like, they have established the Koopas and what they're doing, and then there's a sequence where the Koopas attack our heroes on the Rainbow Road in their own carts, right? So you have this group of Koopas in carts and trucks and everything coming down to attack this other group. It started to look like, oh, I see what they're doing, like a Mad Max type Fury Road.
Yeah.
They'd established that there's a rock group in the Koopa castle. So I was like, okay, they're gonna do a play on the doof with the
Yeah, that's the reference that you said it didn't happen. That there was
right.
no
That's what I'm saying. Any other movie from Illumination, DreamWorks, Pixar, they would have been like, okay, obviously we have to do a Fury Road parody here. Just, it'll be a fun little thing. All the elements were there, but I guarantee you, Illumination was like, oh, we have this guy, we're gonna put him on the top. It'll be like Fury Road, and Nintendo was like, no. I feel it in that moment where like everything was there. They had the guy with the guitar. They had all the guys with the Fury Road set up. Mm-hmm. It looked like it was going down that direction, and they just don't execute the joke. And it was just like, I could totally tell. And that's not the only time. Throughout the movie, there's like opportunities for jokes where they just don't do it. And it's just because I feel like Nintendo is not willing to allow Illumination to do something outside of their their wheelhouse, like or the Mario playbook that they're given, color inside the lines. But that was the one point where I was expecting something very obvious to happen, and it just didn't happen. And I was like that's where I felt it the most. I was like, this is like lacking a flavor. This movie just doesn't have that zest in it.
Yeah,
I think it had zest for me because I saw it maybe in 3D did help a lot for me.
Yeah,
I think I was more into it. I didn't fall asleep or anything because it's everything's like coming at you in your, left and right of you, Rainbow Road, shells, blue shell. That kind of surprised me. I didn't think that would actually happen.
Well, I think with this is that, I mean, I see like, yeah, I have to agree. The zest was gone. They could have taken more risk in creating a lot of moments for the adults and made this a wholesome overall movie for everybody. Like, kids wouldn't have gotten the innuendos, but pretty much let us be the adults of back in the 90s where we could see all these innuendos, and then we would be like, oh, that's so funny, that was great, blah blah blah, and it'd be something that's really enjoyable for adults as well. Yeah. But
I don't want people to think that I want like full-on adult content in this movie. I was just saying something.
You want Raphael?
There's nothing
banging April O'Neil somewhere.
I wouldn't say no to that, but I'm just saying.
Rule 34.
Rule 34. Yeah. This is not Ren and Stimpy, literal graphic representation of different crazy amounts of acts. I just wanted something that would be like, hey, like, make a joke and not even have Mario like look at the screen like wink, wink. I mean, something that he just says something, be like, well, you know what it is, and keep it pushing.
It's ironic that like the things that we grew up in and that I'm fine okay with, but other people who are our age, they're like against it now. But they watched the same thing back then. I'm sure I loved it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if people
that makes any sense.
I don't know if people our age are against it. It's
just, think about it. I mean, it's not like someone who's 80 and like saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do that right there. Have Master Splinter kiss April O'Neil," or it's not some person who's in their 80s. It's someone who's unfortunately in our age.
But let's look at let's be realistic though. Let's look at Mario games in general. There's rarely anything I can't think of at the top of my head that is any type of innuendo in those type of games. Now, Zelda, on the other hand, there might be slight innuendos there, but there's nothing that's in your face like, hey, blah, 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 I'm about to lay this pipe down, like, hey, I'm going fishing, but maybe I catch me a Zora and take her home. Like, hey. None of that happens. So it's kind of like, Nintendo is known to be safe. And for me going into this movie, I really didn't have the expectation of that. I was a little surprised. I was a little surprised that it was as tame as it was overall. But I mean, like I said, the expectation, and I think it might have came down to the fact that we've had conversations in the past about other anime movies as well, that these movies are really not meant for us. And I kind of went into that expectation with this one, is that this movie is not meant for me. So when I go here and look at this movie, I'm not looking at it as, man, is this going to be an Oscar winning, you know, the soundtrack is going to be done by Hans Zimmer. You know, I'm thinking like uh, uh, Christopher Nolan level, Tenet, like my mind is blown
Tenet.
type of shit. This is more of a, all right, I'm here for a good time, not for
The
a
whole
long
car
time.
chases in
Not for a
reverse.
long time.
Rainbow Roads in reverse.
Yeah, like not gonna lie, like I partially expecting like a Super Smash Brothers like thing to happen, which
Kind of got it.
out of kind of, but not really.
He did kind of get it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of, but I mean that was just more of Mario.
It was
Donkey Kong.
floating in midair.
Sure, I mean it is what it is. I mean I was thinking more of a like a Kong type of stuff.
Well, I think definitely. I mean, so I definitely think that they're onto something here, and I was definitely expecting, out like references to Nintendo outside of Mario, like the Mario
Yes.
sub universe.
They kind of did.
Allude to
like Samus.
They kind of
Yes.
did.
Fire Emblem.
They kind of
Yeah.
did.
How?
Okay, how?
When Mario and Peach were in that field of fire flowers,
Okay.
Peach looked up into the sky and you saw a lot of stars in the sky. And she
Right.
said that there is a galaxy out there, or I don't know if the word was galaxy.
That was a reference to Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that could be also anything else. It could be Star Fox. It could be Zelda. It could be Samus. I mean,
I think that was a very direct reference to
It's
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
maybe.
Because you had the Lumi there.
Even
Yes.
even
Yeah.
the Easter egg videos that I watched the Easter egg video to see what I missed, and everyone was like, "That's a reference to Super Mario Galaxy."
Yeah, Super
Now,
Mario
could
Galaxy,
it be
yeah.
something else? Sure, it could be,
Could
but I
be.
think it's a more direct reference to Galaxy. Now, but what I was saying is, I definitely think there's a roadmap here for them to go somewhere.
Mhm.
I hope that they like I think it's an obvious sequel or obvious sequels to Mario, like just Mario movies. But I could see, and I think we talked about a Smash Brothers movie down the road once they do other movies with other characters.
That's
And
more difficult, though. That's more
and
difficult.
I said, like, one of the things I said is you could do a Zelda movie just like How to Train Your Dragon, like in that sense, with that kind of animation where it's like not as cartoony and it has the action adventure qualities. And like a big studio like Illumination does it, you can definitely build a universe there. You could do a Samus Metroid movie easily.
Maybe. So I've
Easy.
always the way they did this
You can
movie.
do any of the franchises.
Yeah, but I've always pictured Samus and Zelda more on a serious tone.
No, but okay. So here's the detachment from reality. Nintendo, they're Nintendo properties.
Yeah.
They will never do that. They will never do what we want
What
them to do.
I don't know.
If they make a movie for Zelda,
We got Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is kind of dark.
Sure, you could play that as much as
A
you
lot
want.
of dark things happen in Zelda.
Sure, but if they ever make a movie, it's going to be more in line with How to Train Your Dragon. I can't think of another reference. I keep referencing that one movie, but you know what I mean? It's not cartoony. It is an action adventure movie that appeals to a lot of kids. Has like fantasy elements, like Frozen or something. I don't know, but you could see a Zelda movie very successful, and like I say, it would print money for them. You could see a Star Fox movie. Easy.
That's a good call.
You could see.
I can see Star Fox.
I could see a Metroid movie. Like, you know what? Did you guys see I saw it, the Buzz Lightyear movie that Pixar put out?
Mm-hmm.
That's more serious.
I didn't see it.
It's more serious, but that's the avenue where you could make a Metroid movie in that same, where it's not fully cartoonish, but it has cartoonish elements. It appeals to kids. It appeals to teens. It appeals to adults. That's where Nintendo will, like, I could see a character from that animation style crossing over with the cartoony Mario from this animation style, and you doing a Smash Brothers movie. And same with Zelda. I could see this happening with Illumination. So this movie being a huge success is definitely the stepping stone for that to happen. I think that definitely this will happen, because as Marvel collapses pretty much in
Mario Rises.
I think I think video games will
The fire
rise.
rises.
My money's been on either video games or anime being the thing that takes.
Well, yeah, those are two like
torch.
really untapped markets by Hollywood per se.
Well,
Yep,
see, the thing is,
untapped with a lot of nostalgia.
well,
Or
the thing
done
is,
correctly.
anime has been showing time and time again how potentially great it can be in the box office.
Oh
Like
yeah,
when you look at Demon Slayer has done very well. When you look at Dragon Ball Super has done very, very well.
Yeah.
You talk about One Piece has done very, very well. These are animes that are obviously top tier animes. You know, they're some of the top shonens or whatever currently. So there is an untapped market for it. Like for Legend of Zelda to have to like, well, one thing is like Mario has never spoken like a full on dialogue before. Yeah. So now, I mean, now that we've cracked that barrier of having Mario speak, we know the next person who hasn't spoken ever, which is Link. Well, yep. Link has spoken, but we don't count those, Sega CD games. But
oh god,
he's gonna have an Italian accent.
Yeah,
I mean a New York accent.
Yeah, don't you see me walking here?
Yeah, who's walking here, princess? Come on, yeah. I'm walking.
Ganondorf, I'm walking here.
What are you doing?
And Nintendo's casting. They're gonna cast the most plain vanilla Link voice you can think of.
Of course,
because they don't want to go this way. They don't want to go that way. Yes. They're going to go right down that.
I know it's going to be difficult, but I kind of hope they don't have Link speak. Yeah, as difficult as it would be.
I would love a movie that is that creative, but unfortunately,
it's difficult.
It's difficult. But here's another thing. We just talked about Nintendo's ridiculous creative control could go so far as to impose that you have to have a movie where Link doesn't speak. I could see it.
They could do it though.
They could do it. And you know what? That would be a really cool movie. But I think even Miyamoto understands that your character needs to emote and speak, and for a movie to be
you're gonna have somebody like somebody like Navi be introduced and be
to speak for the character.
Speak for the character.
And there's only way.
Or say like, hey, Link lost his voice. He's been asleep for 1,000 years. He lost his voice, and maybe like right at the end, like typical like cut
Such
away.
A video game thing.
Yeah, when he's about to right before the credits are about to start, Link is about to talk, and he's like, and then goes to black, and then Linkin Park comes on. I mean,
and then everybody like all the like everyone in the theater is like going like this, and all the like Japanese businessmen are like, that's amazing.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Like,
brilliant.
The thing is awesome. I think that. So I was kind of theory crafting this weekend about the future of the Mario movies, which they already have pretty much. They want Pedro Pascal to be Luigi.
Right.
They
or Wario. It's Wario.
Or Wario, I'm sorry. Yeah, they want him to be Wario. So it's just like Wario
actually would work.
It would work. It'd be fine. Now the thing is, like, so I was thinking like they could go into. They already have the Lumi, and Lumi's already been.
I'm right there with you. That's what I was talking about.
Well, there's already talks about a.
There's an obvious sequel that this movie is setting up, and that is Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see a Rosalina, like a relationship with Peach where they don't get along, and like maybe they're vying for Mario, and then the Luma. You're absolutely right. The Luma stole kind of the moments that it was in. Obviously, that Luma is going to come back as the Rosalina's Luma.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Obviously, I think it's a very, very obvious sequel. They broadcast. That's why I said the Galaxies reference was like obviously there for a reason.
Yeah, I think there's obviously going to be. So that Luma is actually Luma Lee. That's the name of the Luma, by the way. Luma are the creatures. Luma Lee is that specific one. So the Luma Lee, it has to be Super Mario Galaxy. I don't see any other way. Like, why introduce this character into this movie without expanding upon Super Mario Galaxy. I think with the fact that we have such a real now that they introduced, and I think this is another one too, Super Mario Odyssey, I think might be the end goal because of the fact that they introduced Mario into the real world. So they've shown Mario now in Brooklyn, and they've shown what other characters look like in this world. I would not be surprised if we get Super Mario Odyssey in the future. But the big thing that I think will happen is I think we're going to get a Luigi spinoff. I think we're going to get Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I would say teased it a little bit.
Yeah, they already kind of teased it.
They teased it, but it was one of the most disappointing sequences where I was like, he's running from Dry Bones, he's running from Shy Guys, he's running from Bats. Where are the boos?
Yeah,
I mean, I was really waiting for like a movie, like a moment where like behind his back you see the boo coming, and when he turns around, he does the thing and he disappears. You know what I mean? So you could see it from a movie perspective of what you played. Where he like vanishes, so you don't see him.
No, I agree.
Like, oh, here's the moment where we're gonna see the boo, and then they just didn't execute that, and that's a self-imposed Nintendo thing. I don't know why they didn't. It makes so much sense.
It was an easy home run, and I know Nintendo's being safe, but that was such an easy home run that they didn't.
Yeah,
I was like, I was sitting there, and when I was talking to
or
some
I
of the
thought
adults,
or I thought Luigi. Like I know he's
gonna find the backpack. Yeah, he's gonna find the backpack.
Something.
And I was like, if he would have opened up a dresser or something like that, and saw the backpack and be like, oh, or you'll see it in his closet when they were at home in Brooklyn. I'm like, yo, that's kind of cool. Or Luigi had a thing like he was into ghosts or something like that. They just mention it. I'm like, okay, that's an easy layup for Luigi's Mansion because
they can still do it. I mean, they live.
Oh, they absolutely can still do it.
They can still do it.
See it as a Halloween movie down the road.
Well, not even that, because I mean, if you think of Super Mario Galaxy, Luigi wasn't even in that
that movie
in that game. So it was like, you could do the whole game where Mario, or a whole movie where Mario gets pulled into another galaxy, Luigi's left behind, and then he gets pulled off into another galaxy or something like that, and he's just stuck in the galaxy with boos and so forth. Like there's so many things they can do. Now I was really surprised that they didn't do that. But another movie that I think that we're missing that could be easy layup, and I think we're all forgetting this because this is post
Yoshi's Story.
No, I mean Yoshi's Story. That's obviously that's pretty much a give me. But something that we kind of forgot that could be easily animated and will be really fun. Comparatively, this is coming out of the era of Lightning McQueen and so forth, and Cars.
F-Zero.
Oh,
F-Zero.
I think F-Zero can be easy movie.
Yeah, easy movie. Very easy. And it appeals, like I said, all the Nintendo properties you've seen Pixar versions of them executed, or DreamWorks versions of them already executed, and the money's there for them.
Yeah.
It's just money sitting on a table. It's a giant stack of money sitting on a table leading to a Smash Brothers game. And it's like huge profit.
It's literally this could be the Kevin Feige Marvel Universe game.
This is in game
of Nintendo, where you have a ultimate tournament, Super Smash Brothers tournament, because of Crazy Hands and who else? Crazy Gloves and whatever. Crazy Hand and what's the other one? Master Hand. And then, or you could do something where like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, where you have the little star eye darkness thing coming up. There's so many things you could do. I hope this is, even though I thought this movie was relatively boring, it was just okay.
I thought it was good.
If they do something where it comes down to Super Smash Brothers, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna punch a kid. I'm going to punch a kid. Like
you'll start a brawl.
I'll start a brawl. Like I will literally, and then if I'm not gonna physically hurt a child, but what I'll do is I will bring a console, I will bring a TV, and I'm gonna be anybody who's beside me. I'm like, jump on the sticks. I'm gonna beat your ass during this movie because that would be just amazing in of itself. And then I think that if Nintendo does do this, if Nintendo does ultimately do a Super Smash Brothers movie, which I think is just an easy layup for them to do.
It's their Infinity War. They have to do it.
Yeah. That's the end goal, I would say. They have to build up to that.
And I would tell them to take your time, baby. Establish these properties, everyone is salivating for all of them. So
we need
like
a solo Iron Man movie, a solo Captain America movie, and so on and so on. We need Star Fox. Oh, I would say Luigi.
I mean, Star Fox, Zelda, Metroid. If you can get those,
you need the original
added,
Smash Bros. Cast,
and then probably 3 Mario sequels to get you there. Like
Mario's the Iron Man of this
absolutely
universe.
Well, I'm saying
now Mario sequels. What were you guys like? I my mind. Obviously, they did the Mario Kart reference. I would love a full movie about Mario Kart, but I don't know if they could do it because they kind of blew their load here. I could see a Mario sports movie, like with all the references to all the sports stuff they do.
I don't see a movie. I see references, but not a
You
movie.
see references.
I see references.
I don't know. I would love to see like just like a competition where you'd see these characters.
Because they got too many. Well, they got soccer. No,
they got a lot. They got a lot.
Okay.
I can only see reference.
If you do a reference like that, the only way that I think it will be absolutely blow it out of the water, like Major Cooming everywhere, is if they do Mario and Sonic.
Oh God! At the Olympics.
At the Olympics, I think
no.
You guys are.
I could see Sonic appearing in that Smash Brothers movie like down the road.
But I hope so.
I don't know. I don't think.
Well, honestly,
this is premium tier shit. Why would you sully that?
For a Smash Brothers game, I can't see a lot of IPs in it. It has to be the original cast.
The first Smash Brothers game probably is the cast you'd get.
Yeah,
and then maybe down the road, you know how like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll have to redo. The thing is, they will have to redo possibly a Pikachu, maybe a Pokemon movie of sorts.
Oh, Pokemon movie in 3D would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good. I mean, they already did they did a movie already.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, where Pikachu is pretty much done. Ash technically is the world master, but then they tease that there's other Pokemon masters even above him.
They would only have to, they could only draw from the NCU.
The NCU.
NCU. Nintendo Cinematic Universe, please.
Wow.
I mean, if they established all these things in the NCU, let's start getting used to saying it.
I hope so.
I mean, I hope so.
It rolls off the tongue.
I don't know if it rolls off the tongue, but
say NCU.
NCU.
It sounds like CSI or something.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know. I'm going to. He's about to get a prostate exam. Like, I'm going to the NCU to get a prostate.
Going to the NCU.
Yeah.
No, I could see a reality in which like a sequel could be Galaxies. You're right, and I could see another sequel where if you get all these Mario, like these other Nintendo movies going, you could have a game like Odyssey where Mario is going to these other universes to recruit Samus and Zelda, and like that's his his Odyssey to like build a team of people. Man, I'm getting excited thinking about that.
I think there'll be more Galaxy though.
Calm down there. These are children IPs.
Woohoo! It's taking me back to that cold dark theater where the children were like, call the manager.
Yeah, right. You know the funny thing. Did you guys notice that the voice? So the very beginning of the movie, right? When Mario is inside the Punch Out Pizzeria.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's playing on
the original Mario.
Yeah, is that the original Mario?
Yeah, that's the original Mario.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because I was telling my brother-in-law about it. I was like, yeah, that sounded like the original Mario. He was like, really? You think so? I'm like, yeah. He sounded more like Mario than Chris.
He also does the voice. He also does the voice of his father.
Yeah.
He does. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the father, which is appropriate.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, like I said, this is a good movie. It was good, not great. I liked it, but didn't love it. It was boring at times, but I understand this is a children's movie, not for grown ass men to be like, woohoo, in the middle, in the back, woohoo,
in the back of the theater. Back of the theater. Would not recommend.
Yeah. So, but no, overall, I thought it was good. So, I'm looking forward to see what Nintendo does. I hope Nintendo does it right. Nintendo's going to do it so slow, and they're going to do it so methodically that it's going to be
the problem. Nintendo's the problem here.
Yeah, Nintendo's going to do
Illumination is like ready. Yeah, they got the animators doing this right now.
I think Illumination would kind of like, tap them on the shoulder, whatever, like, hey, we got this idea. You guys want to do another movie?
I don't think that's how that relationship works. I think Illumination is like, please.
Like,
well, I think after Miyamoto had PTSD from the first movie for so many years, I think he's now relieved.
I think there's that, and I think the amount of money this movie has made is
astronomical.
It made a lot of money.
Actually, let's talk about
I think this will
it's the highest video game movie now.
Hopefully this loosens Nintendo's
PTSD.
Gets them more acclimatized to the possibilities out here.
Okay, so
I'm sure Illumination already pitched this to them.
Of course they did. So let me ask you guys, how much money do you think this movie made so far worldwide? Let's do domestic
GDP.
Let's do domestic, and then let's do worldwide.
Right now, I'm going to say it's at $600 million.
Okay. What about you, Adam Graham?
I'll say 8.
800? Wow. You guys are both over. So technically,
I wasn't going that high. I'm not going to say
if we're talking about the closest, if we're talking about this is like Price is Right, and we're doing the closest, Dark Side wins.
I was going to say, is it between 4 and 6?
Yeah, it's actually 420 million.
Okay,
that they did worldwide.
6 a little.
I would love to know how this did.
But for 2 weeks, is it not even 2 weeks? It's been like a week, right?
Well, because this seems like more of a
damn. Only a week.
I forgot.
Only a week, and there are movies that don't even come to.
Well, not even a week. Tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, so tomorrow will be Wednesday, so it's not even.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I wanted to add, last week while we were away, I did attend a comic convention, C2E2, and I did pick up something I wanted to show you guys.
Oh, that was C2E2 already?
Yeah.
He didn't invite you guys?
Damn.
What the hell?
I couldn't go.
Yeah, no, he did. He told us.
I invited everyone. I gave several notices, and I just, it is what it is.
I couldn't go anyway. I have phone problems too.
I did pick up this art.
Oh
wow, that's kind of cool. Is that really that she's over?
What?
Yeah, it looks
is that
like
really?
Or
is that just
Ridley's on the bottom?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but this is original art. This artist had some really great Nintendo and movie and anime. The art style is really
for those listening. Darkseid has a portrait of Samus from Metroid.
Beautiful piece of art.
A cool pose with her plasma gun over Ridley. Was it Ridley?
Really?
Arm cannon.
Please. What'd you say? Did you say plasma gun?
I said Samus.
Oh,
I said Samus. Samus.
In Shamu.
Shamu.
Yeah. Yes, Shamu in Meteor.
I mean, he is the same person that called Link Zelda. So, I mean, do we really trust
in this episode?
Fake fan.
Yeah, fake fan.
False.
But yeah, no, I mean, the amount of money that is still for a first time animation, live action or animated 3D animated movie from Nintendo. I can't think of anything else. Like Pokemon wouldn't count, right? So yeah, this is the first like Nintendo 3D movie. So far in this first week made 420 million. I think that's very impressive. So
insane. Yeah, I hope it can maintain that. I think it will, because I think there's a lot of good word of mouth. The critics weren't all over this movie.
Yeah, they didn't like it.
But the people liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it's for the kids and for the adult fans. Well, it's for fans.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to the supporting the critics, I think that there are animated movies, and I've talked about this, that are for kids that are just better. They're written better. There's such thing as better writing for kids movies. I hate bringing it up again and again. They just did it, but Lego Movie just nails it.
I know, but for me at least, there's charm with this movie. I mean, we've all grown up on Mario, so to see Mario on a big
there's charm, but it comes from nostalgia.
Yeah.
If that wasn't there, this would This is not.
If this movie was started
Boring.
from scratch,
Boring.
like this is an IP that had never been seen before, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
make this.
I can get that.
This would
yeah.
have been a very average ass movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, nostalgia definitely plays a big. And the thing is that adults are the ones that are rating this based on nostalgia. Nobody's actually. It's not kids who are watching this for the first time and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know who Mario was," and blah blah blah. Everybody's coming from a point of I played the Mario games. Like after we watched this movie, me and my family went and we played Mario Party right after this, and like this is like
why Mario Party though?
Why not? Mario Party is fun
Outside
of the stupid rules at the end. But I mean, Mario Party it's still a lot of fun playing up to.
I also had an itch to play a Mario game right after this, and
I did too. I didn't, but I had
thank God I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. We played Mario Party. We had 4 people, so we ended up playing Mario Party.
That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, it was a cool time. And like I said, this game elicits nostalgia. So yeah, I mean, this when it comes to like critics, like movie critics, of course they're not going to review this movie as high as the audience will, because they're looking at it from an actual like technical aspect of the writing, the animation, plot points, so forth, music score, blah blah blah. Us, we're just like, is Mario, I'm going to like it. So
the bar is low. The bar was low.
Yeah. I mean, for this movie, so the critics' tomato meter was
it's bad.
57%.
Yeah.
But the audience audience score was 96%.
Yeah, huge disparity.
Huge disparity between the two.
And I think there's a lot of nostalgia being trickled into that.
Absolutely. The 96%? Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
But like I said, this is
a lot of free passes.
This is a beautifully done animated film for sure. They were very safe. They didn't take any risk. It is what it is. So
you got to give them props. They didn't screw it up.
They didn't screw it up. Yes.
Give them props.
This could have been horribly wrong. This could have
been bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty much out of things to say about this movie. Green Tuner, as somebody who has not seen this movie thus far, and you've just listened to our deep, in-depth conversation about it.
With spoilers.
Yeah, with spoilers. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this movie? Is it kind of on par with what you thought we would think of it, or just from what you've seen like in the trailer and whatnot?
Green Tuner, I believe you will, when you see this movie, you will love it.
You will like it.
Yeah, because one, we have diminished the expectations for you. I think we brought them down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think you are the reviewer that accepts like kids movies for kids movie. You have that ability to separate the things. So I think you will like it.
Yes.
Awesome. Deep insight.
Not too much, please. We can't have too much Green Tuner in this episode, please.
Calm down, sir. You're way too
cut his mic. Cut his mic.
Yeah, jeez.
My God.
This guy, man, he just keeps babbling off. Like, damn, just tell him to shut the hell up.
Real quick before we give our blurries here, do you guys see the stingers?
Yes.
They weren't great. Yeah, there was a mid and a post credit.
There was 2.
Yeah, I thought the first one's the one with Bowser singing. And
singing was the mid credit.
He's still in the cage, whatever.
He's still in the cage. Yeah.
Well, I forgot what was the second one.
The post was Yoshi.
Yeah, I did see the Yoshi one.
Egg.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was like,
well, no, there was another one. Was it this?
No, there was just 2.
No, there was just 2.
Oh,
yeah, mid and post. They weren't like I said. They weren't that great. Like I was expecting that post credit to be Zelda related or no.
That would have been amazing.
I wanted it to be a Nick Fury moment. You know what I mean? I wanted
too early, too soon.
You said Rosalina come out and like I'm looking for the Super Mario Galaxy, and then just face of black, like something very deliberate. No, it's not. It was nothing like that.
You see a Triforce in the background making face of black? No, nothing.
I don't know, but that I really thought that room of pipes is like your conduit to these other.
It's possible,
and that probably will come to be. But
can you stop writing the story, please? Are you ChatGPT?
I'm perfectly happy with Yoshi. Like I did have a very visceral reaction.
Now here's the
I thought I was
thing.
pretty excited about that.
Now, just really quick, since that Yoshi was, the end scene,
Yeah,
it could be a Yoshi type story movie or
I think
Mario.
Galaxy 2 is where you have Yoshi in it.
No, Yoshi's in what's the one for Super NES? When
Mario
you play as
World?
Yoshi.
Mario World.
Super Mario
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you do that movie again? Like we said, like it's set up for Galaxy. Galaxy 2 has Yoshi. It's perfect. He takes Yoshi with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Nintendo Illumination, call us please, and then don't consult your chat GPT. We could do this.
Yeah, we could absolutely do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm when we heard the Yoshi, when the one scene where we saw all the Yoshis running when they're walking through the Mushroom Kingdom, and we saw the Yoshis. I'm not gonna lie, my heart kind of melted a little bit when that one Yoshi turned back. It was like Yoshi.
Yoshi.
That was perfect. That was kind of like the icing on the cake on that moment. But
one of the kids said Yoshi too. It was cute.
Yeah,
like,
I would slap the shit out of that kid. Be like, shut the
also,
hell up.
and
You're not
never
Yoshi.
mentioned it. I never got a chance to mention it. With but all the Donkey Kong jungle stuff.
Yeah,
Diddy Kong was there.
Diddy Kong. I thought that was cool.
Diddy, Dixie, and the other one,
Cranky.
Cranky, and there was another one.
The blonde one.
But they're the references to Diddy Kong Racing and their garage. I love all of that. I love the whole
scene when they're making the cars and everything.
Yes, I love the whole Kong. I love the Kong world.
Only thing
it's a rumor that's gonna be a movie.
Only thing they need to do,
I'll be down for it.
Was add the Diddy Kong like Diddy, no Donkey Kong. You know
they did it. They did the rap. They did the rap.
I don't remember the rap. I thought they didn't do that. Maybe I felt.
Did they do the rap? Wasn't the rap in it?
No. They didn't do a full blown rap.
No, but there was a musical reference to the rap.
Okay, they might do a musical reference. I was expecting them to do a rap. Like that would have been dope. Like,
I believe the rap was like there was a reference to the rap, maybe his intro when he came into the stadium or something. But there was a reference to that rap.
See, yeah, I need to look at the Easter eggs.
I do want. We need to watch the movie again. Yeah. I totally do.
I might. I'm not
gonna watch it. Well, I probably might take.
No, I'm gonna watch it when it comes out on video or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, blurries.
Let's go ahead and give it blurries and let's get out of here.
All right, go ahead.
For me, I would give it a 5.5. Decent movie.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Decent.
All right, well, I'm not going to be as brutal as
No. I like Creamcast honesty. So
yeah. It was. I said, that's not for me. It's not. This is a movie not for me. So.
Did Disney give you money or something?
If I was going, okay, but that's my personal rating. If I was going to say,
why is your nostalgia not playing into? Is there nostalgia playing into your rating?
I feel like
because he can look over then.
Yeah,
I feel like I can look over it too. Wow,
I'm fluffing mine with nostalgia, and
okay,
I'm
if we're gonna put nostalgia, don't tell me.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do nostalgia, then I would bump it up 2 points. I would say it's about a 7.5 then.
That's where I'm at, baby.
Like, because I'm taking nostalgia out of it.
I'm just at 7. I'm just at 7.
I'll bump it up 2 points because of the fact that when I'm looking at this movie, I'm looking at this movie for myself. So this movie for myself, it is a 5.5, because of the fact that the movie is it's okay. Yeah, it's okay movie. Like, it didn't scratch no itch that I was like, oh my god, this is the movie. This is the Nintendo movie I've been waiting for my entire life. But for like a kid, if I was now putting my nostalgia cap on, take off my Mario hat, put on my other nostalgia hat, I would say yes, this is a 7.5. Pretty solid. This is a solid movie. Honestly,
this would be a seminal film if I saw this as a kid. This would be a major milestone movie as a kid.
This is like the Batman and Robin of movies.
Hold on.
Kids.
Whoa. No.
I'm saying Batman, like, it was cool back in the day when we were kids.
At Underground, awesome. How many kids did you see walk out of this movie?
No kid. Well, this movie? Why would a kid even walk out of this movie? It's great.
It's ridiculous, right? Kids don't walk out of movies.
It's great.
Really insane.
Yeah, it's no Batman and Robin. So they walk out.
I guess. Anyways.
Yeah, but like I said, nostalgia. 7.5, easy.
So you're fluffing it up at 7.5.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, I have to give it nostalgia, and it's sad. It's sad I have to say this, but I'm giving them credit because they didn't screw it up completely. Because it's a big deal that they didn't. So I'm giving them. I'm between a 6.5 and a 7. I'll give them the credit of the 7.
Okay, why don't you take off the nostalgia cap? What would you give it then?
6. be honest with you. It's just that it's
6.
fine. It was fun. It was colorful.
Yeah.
It was like the voices were fine. And I think Bowser and Peach did a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
The actors did a lot of heavy lifting for the very weak plot. So I will give it a 6 if I had to, but yeah.
Makes sense. All right, Ed Underground, what would you give it?
Well, I think it helped out that I saw it in 3D, so I have to give it an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 3D did help a lot. I was in it.
Is that with a nostalgia fluff then?
That is with the nostalgia fluff also.
Where would it be take out the 3D and the nostalgia fluff? Where you at?
I
He's gonna say 7.
7. Yeah, 7. That's good.
I was gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and take a real.
No, I can't give it a 6. I can't give it a 6. No, I can't give it a 6.
Creamcast nostalgia fluff is the fluffiest at 2.5.
I saw it in fluffy 3D. Okay. I saw it in fluffy 3D.
Yeah, well,
he was fluffing everybody.
He was fluffing everybody.
Yeah, fluffing.
Well, the thing is, I mean, yeah, big fluff. Yeah, I gave it 2 fluffs. You gave it like 1.5 fluffs.
Well, mine was already even without fluff, so it was at a 7. So
yeah, Ed gave it a 1 fluff. You know, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's fair overall.
I definitely think so.
Now I'm excited now for Green Tuner. That Green Tuner is a contrarian in the beliefs of movies. Like, we watch movies and we be like, oh well, we think this movie is such and such because we like the cinematography, the score, and Green Tuner is one of those people like, I just liked it for me. Like, I just thought I had a great time, which is fine. That's totally fair. So I'm really curious of what you're.
But he's also a child at heart. That's
he is a child.
You love him.
I am.
Yeah, he really is. Like, if you guys don't actually know, Green Tuner is the size of a child. He is only he's actually 3'5". So when he really gets into these child movies for sure.
Yeah.
So
he has to seek shelter during llama watches.
I
do.
Yeah,
he's in a danger zone for sure.
danger.
He could really be dressed up as Mario if he wanted to.
Yeah, he really could. Yeah. So, but no, I'm really curious about how you're gonna view it. So, are you gonna see it this week?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, next stream or next podcast, we will get your review on it, how you felt about it, and some of your theories as well. After you see it, like, are we on point with our crazy theories of what Super Mario is going to be in the future? So, but that's all I have, guys. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add to this, but I am good.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, Ed.
Okay, well then. Hold on, all right. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 82 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, you can find us here live on twitch.tv/the Blurred Podcast, and you can also listen to us on all major platforms. Until next time, catch you later.
Wahoo!
Let's go. Continue.
Blur you later.
Oh, will you? Mario.